From White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts, it's Game 5 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season. Today, talking to you from Harwich as the Kettleers taking on the Mariners for the second time in this young season. I'm Joe Pratt, joined by Alex Rocco and Adele Huffman. We welcome you back into the Kettleers radio network for our third road game of the season, I should say, with the Kettleers fashioning a 1-1 record while playing away from their home ball field. 0-2 at Lowell Park, and the 1-3 Kettleers are looking to get back on track after a much-needed off day yesterday, Alex.
You talked about the off day being much needed, and the Cats have not gotten off to the start that they would like, and they have yet to play a complete game. You finally saw the offense and the bats really break out in the last contest against YD, but it was two crucial innings, the sixth and the seventh, where they gave up 8 runs over those two innings that really propelled them toward the 9-6 loss. But Cotuit sliding, 1-3 record, definitely nice to have the off day, recollect everything, and just take a day off of baseball. Focus on other things, enjoy Cape Cod, and sometimes you have that refresh attitude and that leads to success.
And Adele, we talked about how that off day, as Alex just mentioned, might have been much needed with this 1-3 ball club. What do you think that were, well, looking back at the offense from these past few games, what have you noticed that maybe hasn't been productive?
Absolutely, Joe. I think an off day might be just what the Cats needed. As we heard on our last post game interview with Roberts, we talked about how we're scoring home runs, but we're not scoring singles. We've scored overall 12 runs, seven of them being home runs. So what we're really doing is getting beat with our singles here, and we need to start mixing it up and mix a few more singles into our play, and I think we'll just be fine, Joe. But as Coach Robert mentioned, the Cape League is for showcasing players and allowing them to showcase themselves. So sometimes play might not be as stable because they haven't really gotten the chance to play with each other. Players are coming in and leaving quickly. So, it's harder to get comfortable with each other. So I think we shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves. I think we're doing just fine.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Mike Roberts echoed in his post-game press conference that you had with him 2 nights ago, saying how we're only 4 games in. It's not right as a coach to get too high or too low with a start like 1-3 because you haven't had a start as bad as this since back in 2016 when the Kettleers started off 1-4. But of course, we won't know if they're going to have that bad of a start because they haven't played enough games yet. So we really need to just see a bit more of a sample size. And Alex, talking more on that offense, what do you think has to change for the Cats tonight to take down the Mariners team that has a very strong offense on their side?
Well, I think the point that Adele mentioned and that head coach Mike Roberts really wants to hit on is that Katuitt needs to do a better job of getting hits when they have runners on base. I think we were talking about it pregame. Katuitt was just 2 for 27 this year with runners in scoring position. That's not playing winning baseball. Yes, it's nice that you can drive the ball out of the park and use the home run ball. That isn't a winning formula. You need guys up and down the lineup where you have a runner on first and second or second and third with one out in the inning. Sometimes you need a clutch hit, and we've seen Katuitt get those opportunities, but they haven't capitalized on it.
Yeah, that's right. The Kettleers batting just 156, which is the worst in the league in batting average with runners in scoring position, and they're also the only team with single-digit hits when runners are on base. So really, the it hasn't been an issue of getting guys on base. The hits are pretty low, but it's just what they're able to do once guys are on base, and more importantly, in scoring position. On the other side, this is a Harwich team that is among the tops in the league in average on base percentage and slugging percentages, as average at first, slugging at first, on base percentage at second in the league. So, as a pitching staff, Alex, what do you think has to be the key today for Harrison Bodendorf to shut down this really strong Harwich lineup?
Well, it's going to be a tough test because this Harwich lineup loaded with talent right off the jump. Michael Anderson this year, he's hitting 600. Saw him hit his first home run of the year back when Harwich played Katuitt to open the season. He's added another one. He has 9 RBIs so far through 3 games. So he's really swinging a hot bat. So for the Cats starting pitching and Harrison Bodendorf, but overall the pitching staff, they just have to focus on hitting their spots and throwing strikes. And this is something that we've talked about for the early part of the season is getting ahead of hitters. Anytime you can start a hitter 0-1, get the count to 0-2, you're going to have success in that at bat.
And he'll be going up against Danny Macchiarola out of Holy Cross. The right-handed pitcher will be throwing in his first appearance for the Harwich Mariners this summer. The rising junior out of Holy Cross is a right-handed thrower who threw in 13 appearances this past season at Holy Cross, and a guy who is making his first start today for the Mariners. We'll see how long both of these starters go in this game, as we'll get into some keys to the game now, starting with Adele Huffman. Adele, what do you think is going to be a major key in this game for the Cats to not only be able to get to the win, but just a positive to be able to take into these next few games moving forward?
Joe, I think what we've got to do today is use that off day and come in with a fresh start and, just really try to play long baseball tonight and get some guys on bases, hit more singles, runs batted in, because our home runs are getting us there, but not to the finish line. So I think that's going to be the key to gameplay today.
And Alex, a key for you for the Kettleers win today?
I think it's just working quality at bats and seeing pitches and capitalizing when you have runners in scoring position. We've talked about it here so far on the pregame, but just capitalizing in these big spots and making winning plays, but also playing clean baseball. Cotuit's made a lot of errors, and that's what came back to bite them in the last contest against YD. They gave up 10 runs. 4 of those runs were unearned, and if you don't make those errors and just make the simple plays, in that game would have been 6-6. You never know how that game turns out. But Cotuit, sloppy play, so look for them to work deeper in the counts, work better at bats, and just make the clean plays here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Situational hitting, defense going to be major in this one. I'll put my key to the game for Harrison Bodendorf. A good start for him. No Kettleers starter has been able to go over 3 innings into a ball game to start off the game so far this season. So a longer start from him to get things to the bullpen to do their thing after that. And of course, an early start from the offense would definitely bode well for a win today for the Kettleers, trying to improve to 2 for 3, and they'll embark on that when we return on the Kettleers Radio Network. Starting lineups and the first pitch from White House Field coming right up on the Kettleers Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Sean Keys, third baseman from Bucknell University, and you're listening to the Cotuit Kettleers Broadcast Network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Osterville.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Game 5 is just moments away on the Ketts Digital Network. We welcome you in from White House Field. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco are with you as the Kettleers are set to do battle with the Mariners for the second time this season. The first meeting between these two teams, a 13-2 win for the Mariners on opening day at Lowell Park. And Alex, it's nice to get our next looks at our another ballpark that we haven't been to so far this season.
It's a very nice field. I definitely like it. I mean, we were talking about a pregame, just seeing different fields. This could be one of the nicer ones.
Yeah, it definitely could be. Of course, a really nice playing surface with a nice press box right behind home plate and a lot of accessibility for fans on either baseline. The Kettleers will be on the first base side, Mariners on the third base side. And let's take a look at that starting lineup for the Kettleers. Alex, how do they line up today against Danny Macchiarola?
Leading things off is the right fielder, Max Ballou, DHing and batting second, Grant J. Batting in the 3 spot and playing left field, Brandon Compton. Hitting cleanup and manning first base is Tanner Thatch. Hitting fifth and manning the hot corner is the newly inserted Nolan Araki, making his Cats debut. Hitting sixth is Tyler Cerny. Hitting seventh, Matt Klein. Hitting eighth, Nathan Hall. And batting ninth, Jaron Advincula.
So the first batter for Danny Macchiarola digs in. It's Max Ballou, a righty on lefty matchup. Lefty Ballou in the leadoff spot today. A first pitch, line drive, straight back up into center field. Bristol Carter is under it though, and perfectly positioned to receive out number 1. So a hard hit ball off the bat of Max Ballou starts off this game for Danny Macchiarola, who will be throwing to Macon Winslow, gets his second straight start against the Kettleers behind the dish. Michael Anderson out of Rhode Island plays at first. Carmelo Musakia, the middle infielder out of Northeastern, plays second. Ryan Weingartner plays short, and Jake Ogden, the hot corner, at third. Grant J will dig in for his first looks against Macchiarola in the DH today. He takes a strike 1 low and outside, 0-1 on J. Robbie Burnett plays in left field. Bristol Carter in center. Cam Maldonado plays in right field. So working from the stretch, Macchiarola sends a pitch that is flared into right field. That's going to sink in for a base hit just over the glove of Michael Anderson at first. And Grant Jay is able to flare one into right for a base knock. The first of the day for the Kettleers.
Grant Jay coming off of his best performance of the season against YD, a performance that's hit his first home run of the summer and also driving 4 RBI, so picking up right where he left off with the first inning single.
Yeah, it was a 3-run homer by Grant Jay and then a sacrifice fly in his next at bat. Brandon Compton digs in. The Arizona State outfielder takes a strike on the inside corner for strike 1, 0-1 with Grant Jay at first. Compton also hit a home run in the Tuesday night game. A 2-run bomb went 415 feet to right center. Pitcher will check on first. The ball bounces out of the glove of Anderson, and Jay is back in standing up. So the Cats got 5 runs out of the long ball on Tuesday night. The 1 run, the sac fly by Grant Jay, and as we were talking about in the pregame show, 7 of Cotuit's 12 runs scored this season have come from the long ball. As the pitch gets away, the ball goes back to the backstop, and Grant Jay moves up into scoring position. And the count moves up to 1-1 on Brandon Compton. Compton was named a freshman All-American this past season at Arizona State. Played his summer ball last year in the Northwoods League for the Duluth Huskies. Now getting his looks with the Kettleers, his first hit on Tuesday night, that was the home run. And just 1 on the season as he takes one outside, 2-1. Macchiarola hails from the right side, throwing a fastball, changeup, and slider. Takes a look at his pitch comm on the left wrist, and now he comes set with the black glove at his belt. The next pitch is flared into left field, a spinning pop-up for Robbie Burnett to field, and he handles that for out number 2. So a couple of flyouts bookending a Grant Jay single, and he stands on second with Tanner Thatch digging in.
Second again, the first baseman for UNC Wilmington, number 30, Tanner.
Thatch 1 for 10 so far on this season, 2 walks and a strikeout. First pitch he sees is a breaking ball on the outer half for a called strike 1. Thatch got his only hit of the season in the top of the 9th inning at Wareham. Was able to move into scoring position at second base, represented the would-be tying run in that ball game, but the Kettleers unfortunately falling 4-2. As Thatch flares one foul, high and out of play on the third base side, 0-2.
Macchiarola doing a good job attacking early. 9 pitches so far, 7 of those being strikes.
That's something he did this past season at Holy Cross, as the next pitch bounces in there, blocked by the catcher Winslow, and the count now 1-1 on the 84-mile-an-hour off-speeder to Thatch. 5.74 ERA for Macchiarola in 13 starts, 67 strikeouts across 69 innings pitched. A good strikeout to walk ratio, just 27 walks to go along with those 67 Ks. He comes set, takes a look back at second, the 1-2, misses low and outside to the left-handed swinging Thatch, and it's 2-2. So Thatch out of UNCW, a 700 clip that he slugged at this past season for the Seahawks. 27 homers, was top 10 in the NCAA. As the 2-2 pitch is rolled on the ground, a broken bat towards second. Up with it, gunning to first is Carmel Musakia, and he has it there by 2 steps to get Tanner Thatch at first. So the Kettleers are able to put 1 man on base, a Grant Jay single, as we send it to the bottom of the first inning. Harrison Bodendorf is set to make his first start for the Kettleers. And with more on Bodendorf, here's Adele Huffman.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, let's talk about Bodendorf for a second. At 6'5", a left-handed pitcher from Temecula, California, he just finished up his sophomore year at the University of Hawaii, where he split his time as a starter and a reliever, appearing in 20 games with 11 starts. Actually, this past year he started against Cal State in May to bring home a series opening win and struck out 8 batters in just over 4.5 innings. So, Joe, I'm excited to see what he's got for us tonight. Alex, you must be excited for Bodendorf as well to come in this first inning.
And Bodendorf pitched in Cotuit scrimmage against Lexington. Actually started that game. He went 2 innings, walked 3, struck out 3, but really flashed good stuff. So excited to see the tall lefty make his regular season debut.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming off of his second season at Hawaii and showcased some pretty solid stuff across 2 years there. So should be interesting to see him get his first looks against this Harwich lineup and the first time we see him in live action since before this season started. And so let's take a look at that lineup for Steve Engler and the Harwich Mariners. How do they face Bodendorf today, Alex?
Leading things off, Ryan Whitegartner, he's playing short. Daniel Dickinson batting second, he's a designated hitter. The hot Michael Anderson, he's batting third, playing first. In the cleanup spot, the right fielder Cam Maldonado batting fifth, Jake Ogden, sixth, Bristol Carter, seventh, Macon Winslow, eight, Carmelo Musakia, and rounding out the order is Robbie Burnett.
Ryan Weingartner, the first man to face Harrison Bodendorf, who goes into his windup and pitches a first pitch breaking ball that Weingartner swings right over the top of at 81 miles an hour, 0-1. So the corner infield for Cotuit playing in just third base though. End of the bat, flare into center field. High up there for Nathan Hall, who sets camp under it and flags it down for out number 1. So 2 pitches, 1 out for Harrison Bodendorf. And the Kettleers are definitely going to look for more of that today, Alex. Quick outs.
That's the start that you'd like. Attack early and induce weak contact as Weingartner just got underneath it and popped it high into center field.
Danny Dickinson will dig in now. Another right-handed bat in this order for Harwich. As Bodendorf goes into his windup and deals a first pitch low and away, 1-0 to Dickinson. Tanner Thatch plays at first base. He's about 15 feet off the line. Playing back at first, middle infield also back. The next pitch is low and inside, 2-0 to Dickinson. Middle infielders at Vincula at second. Tyler Cerny plays at short. Nolan Naraki getting his first looks today at third. His first start for the Kettleers as the next pitch is beneath the knees of Dickinson, 3-0. Brandon Compton in left field. Nathan Hall gets his first start in a Ketts uniform as well in center. Max Ballou out of Texas in right. The 3-0 pitch. Bodendorf gets over the top with a fastball, 3-1. So Dickinson represents one of the scariest hitters in this lineup for Harwich. Despite being off to a relatively slow start this season in the Cape League, as the next pitch is inside at 79 and called to strike 2. So the count pushed to full against the designated hitter for Harwich. The payoff pitch, he reaches out over the plate and rolls it foul towards the Harwich on deck circle. Count stays at 3-2. So Dickinson just a 200 hitter so far this season. That's following up a year at Utah Valley this year where he hit 363. The 3-2 gets ahead of this one, rolls it on the ground towards short. Charging after it is Cerny. He bobbles it once, picks it up, back up, and throwing to first. It's not going to be in time to get Dickinson there. He beats it out up the first base line, and we'll see how that one is scored. But nonetheless, Harwich will have their first base runner of the game.
And Cerny was charging in on the grass and tried to go with the bare hand there, but just couldn't get the transfer off and couldn't make the throw. So Dickinson reaches 1 out in the inning.
And it looks like that will go down as an error, so an E6 on the play. Runner on first for Michael Anderson out of Rhode Island. He takes a breaking ball down the heart of the plate for strike 1. So you brought it up in the pregame show, Alex. Cats can't get in their own way today with too many errors. Had 3 on Tuesday night in their loss to YD. Next pitch is outside. Throw down to first on the back pick. It's not in time. Nice throw from Matt Klein, though, out of the crouch.
And Dickinson with a big jump off at first. Klein keeping him honest with the back pick.
2 for 2 in stolen bases so far this season. This one's roped down the third base line. It stays fair. Picking it up is Compton. Throws it into first as the runner charges in there. The tag, it gets away from Naraki as Dickinson slides in with the head first dive safely. A single from Michael Anderson, and his strong play continues.
Anderson came into this game hitting .600, was 9 for 15, and picks up hit number 10, and just really not doing too much. And Cotuit has struggled against him. He was 4 for 5 in the first game, now 1 for 1 today. And just anywhere that you try to pitch this guy, he's making really solid contact.
Here's Cam Maldonado with the runners on the quarters. Bodendorf pitching from the stretch, takes a look at first, now throws home. Breaking ball at knee height to Maldonado, called to strike one. Maldonado playing in right field today. Hails from Northeastern University, a tall right-handed bat, as he awaits and swings through a fastball low in the zone. 0-2. Maldonado 3 for 11 in 3 games so far for the Mariners. His 3 walks is tied for a team lead. Down in the count, 0-2 here with the corners in. Reaches out over the plate, rolls it towards third. It's in foul ground though, and they'll do it again at 0-2. Cotuit wearing their road maroon jerseys with the navy blue lettering of Cotuit etched across the front of it. Pinstripe pants to go along with it, as well as the payoff pitch is cut on and missed. Cam Maldonado went chasing after a breaking ball low and away from Bodendorf, and he finds his first strikeout of the afternoon. So a big second out of this bottom of the first inning for Bodendorf.
Much needed punch out there from Bodendorf, and doing a good job of mixing speeds, attacking early on with the fastball and then going to the breaking ball to get the K.
Here's Jake Ogden, another right-handed bat in this Harwich lineup. Bodendorf from the stretch takes a look at first and now throws home. Breaking ball is too low. 1-0 to Ogden, who's hitting .417 through 3 games so far this season, 5 for 12. With an RBI double, a pair of runs scored, and now with runners on the corners, the 1-0 pitch. He swings and misses at a pitch low and away, 1-1. Rocky at third, getting his first start today. He's playing even with the bag there, about 8 feet off the line. Thatch is holding the runner on at first. Middle infielders are back for Bodendorf's 1-1. It's right down the heart of the plate. A pretty breaking ball there, Alex, from Bodendorf to send the count to 1-2.
That was a really nice breaking ball there, and I don't know if Ogden was expecting the fastball, but just laid off on a breaking ball that caught most of the strikes in.
Bodendorf set the 1-2. Flicked foul down the first base line over the Ketts dugout. Onto that grassy berm where some fans sit in their lawn chairs. Directly to our right is the visitors' grandstand. We are just at the base of that, looking right up the third base line. Bodendorf ready with the 1-2. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another perfect breaking ball from Harrison Bodendorf. Ogden couldn't get a piece of it, and that's the end of the first inning. 0-0 your score as we go to the top of the second. A pair of hits on either side, but no runs to show for it on the Cats Radio Network. When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Has been announced. Join us on November 17th in celebrating Andrew Calica,
Top of the second inning from White House Field. Back on the mound goes Danny Macchiarola, and the heart of the lineup for the Kettleers is due up in this inning. At 4, 5, and 6, Nolan Naraki, Tyler Cerny, and Matt Klein will face the right-handed throwing Macchiarola, who got through that first inning, giving up a hit to Grant J. Other than that, the Kettleers going 3 up, 3 down. The Mariners wearing their cream home jerseys. Mariners etched across the front of that in blue font with red outline. Same color tops as they have pants on, and every player in the field wearing those pants pulled up just beneath the knees to show off the navy blue socks with the red stripes, white stripes in there as well. The stirrup style socks as the first pitch to Naraki is laced straight into center field. Charging in is the center fielder Carter, but he lets it drop in front of him. A leadoff base hit for Nolan Naraki, his first as a Kettleer, and he didn't waste any time against Macchiarola.
Naraki hopped on that first pitch from Macchiarola and flared that back into center field. Got a pitch that he could hit, and did not waste the opportunity in getting on with a leadoff single. And that's something that Cotuit needs to do a better job getting the leadoff guy on and moving runners into scoring position.
Here's Tyler Cerny, a righty on right matchup. Naraki stands on the first base bag. He only had about a one-step lead. Macchiarola still decided to take a look there as he's being held on by Michael Anderson. Working from the stretch. Here's the pitch from Macchiarola. It's going to have to wait as he checks on first again. Shadows cast their way across this infield. Pitcher and the entire pitcher's mound is covered in the shadows, as well as the entire home plate area. The middle infielders are still having to look straight into the sun, though, as are the outfielders. 0-0 the count to Cerny. And he takes upstairs, ball 1. Macchiarola held batters to a .269 average against this past season. Gives up a lot of hits, despite that low earned run rate. 75 hits in 69 innings. Hard hit ball on the ground. That's going to squeeze through the left side of the infield for Tyler Cerny. Naraki holds up at second, and it's a base knock for Tyler Cerny. Back-to-back singles to start off the top of the second for the Kettleers.
And Macchiarola back in that first inning did a good job of controlling the strike zone, attacking early, but now the Cats back-to-back singles here and just capitalizing on pitches that Macchiarola would want back. The pitch to Naraki and Cerny both caught the majority of the plate, were thrown right down the middle, and they wasted no time.
Now here's Matt Klein. Macchiarola takes a look at second. Runners are on first and second, and now Macchiarola will step off the back of the rubber. He calls time. Both of the corner infielders are playing in. Anderson and Ogden up on the grass. Middle infielder's back. Klein shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's 1-0. So clearly an opportunity here for Klein to bunt both of these runners into scoring position with no outs. Lefty awaits. 1-0 pitch from Macchiarola, shows bunt again. Little spinner off of his bat, and it'll roll into foul ground down the third base line. Pretty promising effort there from Klein, though. Looked like it could have been a solid bunt if he was able to straighten it out a bit more. Klein, a .291 hitter this past season at Louisville, 46 games. He started 35 of them. And now the 1-1. Breaking ball that he bounces straight back up to the mound. Macchiarola is up with it, throwing up the first base line. It pulls the first baseman off the bag. The ball pops out of his mitt. Naraki is going to come home and score from second. He does so easily, sliding in feet first, and the Kettleers have a 1-0 lead. So now the first base ump will go over and talk with Steve Englert, as that was a bad throw by Macchiarola up the first base line. Alex, did you get a better look at that? It seemed like Anderson was saying that he was able to hold on to that ball, so he should at least be out at first.
And Anderson was thinking that he recorded the out of Klein at first base. It was a bang-bang play over there, but heads-up base running by Naraki to come all the way around the score. And just a nice bunt by Klein, doing a good job moving the runners over. And anytime you could test the defense, always make them make the play. And at least Klein could potentially get on and reach here, but did drive in the run of Naraki.
So now the umpires will have a meeting in front of the mound. So if that play or if they decide to flip this play, saying that the first baseman was able to hang on to the ball, or whatever the ruling may be, of course, we've seen in years past the runner's interference be called running up that first base line, but unless the batter is able to stay within the lines, then they're not going to call that. And now we do have a decision. The call will stand as the first baseman came off the bag to receive that throw, and it popped out of his glove. He never even received it, did Anderson. And so standing on first base safely is Matt Klein. On third base is Tyler Cerny. Nolan Naraki scored the run, and now Nathan Hall will have his first at-bat as a Kettleer. 1-0 the Kets lead, and the first pitch he sees is a breaking ball inside, called to strike one. So Klein is able to reach. We've still yet to get an official scoring on that play. Runners are on the corners as the flag in center field whips towards straightaway center. And they'll check back at first. Michael Anderson receives it, and Klein is back in standing up. That flag is actually at the top of the all-green scoreboard that stands in right field. And trees lining the rest of this outfield at White House Field as well. Pretty similar to the look that we have at Lowell Park. The next pitch missed low and outside. It's 1-1 to Nathan Hall. Had a small sample size this past season at Clemson. Played in 30 games last summer on the Vineyard for the Sharks. Now he gets a hold of this one, blasts it towards deep left field, going back on at Burnett, looking up. That ball is gone. Nathan Hall in his first at bat as a Kettleer hits a 3-run bomb, and they grab a 4-0 lead in the top of the second. Welcome to Cotuit, Nathan Hall.
That ball jumped off the bat of Nathan Hall, and you saw the power when he hit a bomb against Martha's Vineyard in the scrimmage there, but wasting little time and jumping on the pitch from Machiarola. That ball was crushed into left field.
So that's one way to make his presence felt in the lineup. The first rotation around Danny Machiarola. And he has yet to retire a single batter in this second inning. The first pitch to Jaron Advincula missed. It's 1-0. Advincula, the 9-man in the order. Max Ballou awaits on deck. Here's the 1-0. And it's roped into straightaway center field. Carter's going to let that one drop in front of him. Another hit for the Kettleers. That's 5 straight to start off this second.
The Cats have found something against Machiarola, who had a solid first inning, only gave up the one single to Jay. However, the Cotuit Bats really jumping on him early.
So now back to the top of the order for Max Ballou. He flew out to center field his first time up. And it was the first pitch he saw from Machiarola. He lets the first one this time go by, low and inside for a called strike one. Advincula takes his lead at first. Another hit on the season, his 4th for the Kettleers, has played in 3 games, gets his 4th start today. They check back with him there. He's standing up safely. It's 0-1 the count to Max Ballou. No outs in the inning yet. First pitch. It squeezes out of the glove of Macon Winslow. Advincula advances to second. Winslow just couldn't find the grasp on that one. It gets by him. It was called a strike 2 though. So count 0-2 to Max Ballou. Here's the next one. Ballou backs up off the plate, and it's too far inside. 84 on the gun from Machiarola. Count 1-2. Machiarola pitching in the NECBL last year, a 3.72 ERA in 12 appearances. A 13.5 strikeouts per 9 innings rate. As the 1-2 pitch is rolled on the ground towards first, Anderson is going to flip it to first as Machiarola was covering the bag there, and they get a much needed first out of the top of the second.
It was still a productive at-bat for Ballou, now with Advincula standing just 90 feet away from home and tacking on another run in this inning and putting up a 5 spot here in the second.
They'll pull the infield in. It's the first out of the second inning, so with one gone, here's Grant J. Launched the first hit of the day for the Kettleers just an inning ago. Now he fans and misses at a well-located fastball low and away to him from Macchiarola, 0-1. So more on that. Macchiarola with 29 strikeouts and just over 19 innings pitched for the Blues last summer. Next pitch to Jay, hits him on the left leg. Barely any reaction from the designated hitter as he flings his equipment to the first base side and he heads his way to that bag with a hit by pitch. So he has reached this for the second time in as many innings.
Step for Cotuit, the left fielder from Arizona State, number 10, Brandon Compton.
And they'll put runners on the corners for Brandon Compton. It's another great day for baseball on the Cape, Alex. Not a cloud in sight. Some over the trees in right field, but a little wind to go along with it, as well as that flag in center pointed towards right, or the flag in right field pointed towards center field, left center field, clearly giving some help to that Nathan Hall home run. And now we have a mound visit on the mound between the catcher pitching coach for Harwich, just trying to talk things over in the midst of Brandon Compton's second at bat.
Macchiarola had success back in that first inning, allowing just the one hit to Jay. You've seen a couple of singles, and of course, the error that looms large, and then the home run by Nathan Hall, and Cotuit put up a 4 spot. This is what Mike Roberts is talking about. It's situations like these where you have runners on the corners, one out, you need to do a good job of getting the runs home.
As we mentioned in the pregame show, a 156 average. The Kettleers going into this game with runners in scoring position. The first pitch to Brandon Compton missed low and outside, and the lefty is ahead in the count 1-0. The middle infielders will be playing back, corner infielders up on the grass. Anderson holding the runner on first. Grant J takes his lead there as the next pitch gets past the catcher Winslow, and Jaron Advincula charges in from third. He will score to make it a 5-0 ball game. So some of these mistakes that we've seen the Kettleers make in their first 3 losses of the year, Alex, seemingly Harwich has fallen ill of those same mistakes here. And the 2-0 pitch to Compton awaits with the runner on second. He gets underneath it, sends a twisting pop-up into foul ground. Winslow is underneath it, yelled off by Jake Ogden, and he receives that about 15 feet to the left of that third base line for out number 2.
Compton just got underneath that pitch, popped it straight up in the air, and nice job by Ogden taking charge from third and calling off Winslow and hauling in the second out.
Here's Tanner Thatch, the 9th batter to hit in this inning for the Kettleers. He backs up out of the way of that 89-mile-an-hour fastball low and inside, 1-0. Grounded out to end the first inning his last time up. And is 1 for 11 on the year as the left-handed hitter out of UNCW. The 1-0 pitch rolled on the ground towards first. Battling the sun is Anderson. He's unable to locate it though, knocks it down, and that's about as far as he will get as Tanner Thatch makes his way to first. Jay moves up to third, and another fielding mistake by the Mariners extends this inning.
And Thatch shot that hard on the ground right to Anderson at first, and looked like he just took his eye off of it. Thought he could make the easy scoop on the ground ball and take it to the bag, but just took his eye off of it, and that allows Thatch to reach.
Yeah, he was using his bare right hand to shield the sun and clearly was still unable to locate it, still looking straight into the sun. As the first pitch is called to strike one inside to Nolan Naraki, who led off this inning with a single. The 0-1 from Macchiarola. Down low beneath his knees, and a nice job by Winslow to keep it in front, 1-1. So another chance with the Kettleers here with the runners on the corners. Thatch at first, Grant J is at third. Macchiarola checks his signs on his left wrist and comes set. The 1-1 pitch takes a big hack out of Nolan Naraki, and he falls back to 1-2. Rocky 36 games for Clemson this past season as the 1-2 pitch is hit hard down the right field line, but twisting foul. Someone made a good play on that. Tough to tell from here as we're looking straight into the Ket's dugout, but the Kettleers bullpen is further down that right field line. Macchiarola comes set with the 1-2. Cut on and miss, strike three. Naraki goes down on strikes, but the Kettleers are able to put up 5 runs in the top of the second inning. A big part of that, Nathan Hall's 3-run blast. And we send things to the bottom of the second. You're listening to Cotuit Baseball on the Kettleers Radio Network.
RCA Electric and Generators
With
is
30
dedicated
plus
to
years
helping
of personal
homeowners
injury
and building
litigation
contractors
and insurance
select,
negotiation
purchase,
experience,
install,
Snow
and
Law
maintain
Firm
the
is your
ideal
go-to for
generator
wrongful
for
injuries
their
and
specific
rightful
needs.
compensation.
Since being
Snow
founded
Law
by
Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced
Bottom of the second inning from White House Field, Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco, Adele Huffman are with you as the Kettleers lead it 5-0. And Harrison Bodendorf pitches into his second inning of work, draws a big first cut, and an 0-1 count here to start off Bristol Carter. Center fielder today for Harwich, the 0-1 pitch is low and outside, 1-1. Carter out of East Carolina just completed his his first season there as a freshman, as the next pitch is high and wide, 2-1 the count to him. Was a 2024 preseason American Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year, and the #1 prospect in that conference going into this year. Is also the #1 prospect for the 2026 MLB draft out of the AAC, as the 2-1 pitch to him is low and inside, called a strike 2. So a lot of promise for Bristol Carter, who announced before the season that he entered the transfer portal. 2-2 pitch is laced high but foul over our heads and out of play.
Carter's having a really good summer. 462 average, and that all started back against Cotuit, where he was 2 for 4, scored 2 runs, also drove in an RBI. That game he hit 9th, moved up right into the middle of this order now.
Yeah, it appeared he just broke his bat on that past foul ball. Gets a new piece of lumber and he's ready. The 2-2 pitch from Bodendorf sends a high chopper towards Naraki. Handles it on one hop, throwing on the run in the grass of the infield, and it's in time at first to get Carter. So first test at third base for Nolan Naraki is already 1 for 2 at the plate, and there's 1 gone in the bottom of the second.
Stepping in for Harwich, the catcher from Duke, number 14, Macon Winslow.
He brings up Macon Winslow. First pitch he sees, another right-hand bat. He takes it low and outside, 1-0. Winslow just finished up his freshman year at Duke, .250 hitter in 40 starts, as he fans and misses at a pitch low and away from Bodendorf. It's 1-1. Was a pretty illustrious high school player was Winslow, as the next pitch misses low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. and actually attended the same high school as Kettleer, Tanner Thatch, over at first base. Glove shielding the face of Bodendorf goes into his windup as the 2-1 is too far outside. 3 balls, 1 strikes to Winslow, who was able to experience winning a gold medal as a part of the U18 Team USA team in high school. Next pitch is cut on and missed, low and away, and the count pushes to 3-2 on Winslow. He was a part of a Team USA team that defeated Panama 11-1 in the World Cup qualifier title games. That was down in La Paz, Mexico. Now he spoils one foul over the first base dugout. Count remains at 3-2. In that 11-1 game, Winslow was able to drive in 1 run, went 1 for 4. The payoff pitch from Bodendorf. He reaches out over the plate and comes up empty at strike 3. Bodendorf gets his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon, and there's 2 gone in the bottom of the 2nd.
Stepping in the second base.
Bodendorf battling from back from being down 3-1 in the count, using the fastball to locate, and was trying to get the calls on the outside corner. Notice he wasn't getting it, so just attacking Winslow right away and getting the punch out.
Brings up Carmelo Musakia, second baseman out of Northeastern. Right-handed bat, Bodendorf, the lefty, deals. Fastball right at the knees of Musakia, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 from Bodendorf. Big hack from Musakia, and he's down 0-2. Was looking for that first homer of the summer, something that he did just 3 times this past season at Northeastern, where he was a .254 hitter. And the next pitch backs him up off the plate. It's 1-2. He was coming off a freshman season at Northeastern where he hit .315, 34 hits and 108 opportunities. Over 50% of the time, those going for extra bases. Now a hard hit 3-hopper to short, and it eats up Tyler Cerny. Right there to pick it up is Nolan Naraki, but that's not going to be enough time to get Carmelo Musakia running up the first base line. He reaches on the 2nd hit of the day for the Mariners. So that goes down as an infield single for Musakia. And they have a base runner with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 2nd.
That's the 2nd time we've seen Tyler Cerny just have a ground ball eat him up. Had the error to Daniel Dickinson back in the 1st inning. Musakia was running hard down the line, so they give him a hit there. But Cerny booting away a couple of balls.
Only one of them going down as an error, though. So a positive to look at it, as that one was a tough play to make. Had to charge all the way in, as it was a relatively weaker hit ground ball. Took a funny hop off the edge of the infield grass there as well. The count is 1-1 from Harrison Bodendorf to Robbie Burnett, the outfielder, and he takes up high. Counts 2-1. Musakia takes his lead at first. Bodendorf is working from the stretch now. The lefty with the glove just in front of his chest fires a 2-1 pitch that's rolled off of home plate towards the Kettleers dugout. A foul ball that pushes the count to 2-2 on Burnett. Upcoming, the 43rd pitch of the afternoon from Bodendorf. It's hit on the ground towards Tanner Thatch. He gloves it and will run to the bag to make the easy 3 unassisted to end the bottom of the 2nd inning. So 1 hit for the Mariners. That came with 2 outs. They were unable to do anything with it, as the Kettleers still lead at 5-0 as we go to the top of the 3rd inning on the Cats Radio Network.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Osterville.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508 428 2752.
5-0, the Kettleers lead it as we move into the top of the 5th inning. Ketts stepping up to the plate once again, and it was Nolan Naraki to lead off the last frame. He made the last out of that top of the 2nd inning, and now the bottom of the lineup, starting with Tyler Cerny, will lead things off for the Ketts. And a new pitcher on the mound for Harwich. And boy, what an offensive explosion that was for the Kettleers. I think a 5-run inning, it was clearly the most by far that they've scored in an inning so far this year. They really needed that. And hopefully that's something to put a spark into this offense. Tyler Cerny is the batter. He takes a fastball over the outer half for a called strike 1. The middle infielders will be playing back on Cerny, who was able to lace a single his last time up. The 0-1 pitch is hit hard on the ground towards Mike Roberts, standing in the coaching box at third. It goes right behind him, and it's 0-2. Not a flinch, though, from Roberts. The flag in center field continues to whip away towards the 400-foot sign. 0-2 the count to Tyler Cerny, and the pitch down in the dirt. A nice block by Macon Winslow as the bases are empty and the count is 1-2.
Fredericks this past season at West Virginia, 16 innings pitched, allowed just 2 earned runs, pitched to the tune of a 1.13 ERA, also struck out 10 in those 16 innings of work.
The 1-2 is shot on the ground towards the first base side. This time it's also foul. Joseph Fredericks out of West Virginia, getting his first taste of summer ball experience this year in the Cape League. Pitching primarily from the stretch, he deals a 1-2 pitch that is rolled straight back up the middle, and that's going to squeeze through for a base hit. Tyler Cerny knocks his second straight base knock of the game. Now a bit of a bobble by the center fielder. Cerny thought about heading for second, but with no outs in the inning, wisely returns to first. So another leadoff base runner for the Kettleers, and that brings up Matt Klein.
Still think if we could do it, they could on Louisville, number 18, Matt Klein.
Klein, the lefty, facing the lefty Joseph Fredericks, who enters the game pitching primarily from the stretch and on the first base side. He takes a look at first, where Cerny takes a 4-step lead. And now the first pitch gets away from Macon Winslow, back to the backstop. Cerny moves up to second.
We continue to see a lot of wild pitches and pass balls from Fredericks, Macchiarola, and Macon Winslow as his work cut out for him. A lot of pitches down in the dirt and a lot of going straight back all the way to the backstop.
Fredericks comes set, now taking a look at second. Big lead for Cerny, showing bunt is Klein, but he pulls it back. The pitch was up above his letters. Fredericks with an all-red glove on his right hand. Matches pretty well with his Harwich uniform. Coming off a 16-inning season at West Virginia, a 1.13 ERA the lefty had, as the 2-0 pitch to Klein is over the outer half and called a strike 1. So he wasn't showing bunt there with the count 2-0 with the hitter's count. We'll see if he shows it here with the count 2-1. Both of the corners are playing in. Middle infielders playing back. The shortstop Weingartner is holding the runner on at second, so a large hole on the left side of the infield. the 2-1. Klein shows bunt, but he pulls it back as the breaking ball falls low and inside, 3-1. Klein laid down a successful bunt his first time up. And now the 3-1 pitch from Fredrickson is upcoming. Here it comes. It's down in the dirt, gets away from Winslow again. Klein is walking his way up to first as Tyler Cerny ushers his way to third. So a chance for Cerny to get his second run scored in as many innings, and the Kettleers, just as they did in the top of the second, have put the first two leadoff men on.
Do it. The center fielder from Clemson, number 21, Nathan Hall.
So here's Nathan Hall. Last inning, hitting his second home run in the Kettleers uniform, first in a regular season game for the Kets. First one coming against his former team on the Vineyard. As his first pitch he sees is outside at 93, 1-0. Frederick struggling to find the box early, 11 pitches, just 5 strikes. And now behind 1-0 here on Nathan Hall, who has an opportunity again with 2 runners on base. They're on the corners with nobody out. Frederick steals, and it's down in the dirt, blocked by Winslow this time, and it's 2-0. Outfielders are playing straight up. Jake Ogden at third is playing even with the bag. Anderson holds the runner on at first. Shadows playing an impact across this entire infield, especially early on in this ball game, as the next pitch is rolled foul towards third base, and Hall pushes the count to 2-1. Hall hit .243 as a freshman, went on to hit better in a smaller sample size this season at Clemson. Just 22 at-bats in 12 games for Nathan Hall, and now he sends a bullet over the second baseman, and that sinks in for a base hit. It scores Cerny from third. Now Klein charging into third, and he will stand up safely. So the throw's not in time there, as the Kettleers will put runners on second and third off of an RBI single from Nathan Hall to make it a 6-0 ball game.
Those are the type of at-bats that Coach Roberts was talking about, capitalizing when you have runners in scoring position. And Nathan Hall, his regular season debut for the Cats, can't get off to a better start. Hit the 3-run bomb back in just an inning ago, and now gets an RBI single, moves up to second on the throw. And it's just these little hits and big hits that are combining, and now the Cats offense is really rolling.
Fredericks comes set with the runners on second and third and the infield in. The first pitch that Advincula sees, he fouls it off of his front leg. Advincula was able to reach his last time up with a single. And going back to what Adele brought up on the pregame show, the Kettleers and Mike Roberts pointing out how they have not been able to get too many singles this season. The long ball has been there. But as Mike Roberts mentioned on Tuesday night, they were beat with singles by YD, a team that has 27 hits total on the season. 26 of them are singles, and they are tied for first in the East. So something is working with those single hitters for Yarmouth Dennis. As the next pitch is outside to Jaron Advincula, and the count is 1-2. So a single his last time up, he came around to score. Part of a 5-run top of the second inning for the Kets. They now lead at 6-0, and the next pitch hits off the catcher. That's going to be catcher's interference. So the bat strikes the catcher, Macon Winslow, on his glove. His glove falls off, and now Advincula is on his way to first. He reaches on a play that we definitely have never seen so far this season. Definitely haven't seen that in my 2 years here on the Cape.
Winslow just too aggressive, trying to glove the last offering coming in from Fredericks, and Advincula swings late and just knocks the glove off of his hand.
And luckily for him, he was down in the count, 1-2. First pitch is a big cut from Max Ballou at a fastball up high. 0-1 with the bases loaded. Corner infielders are playing in, middle infielders back for Ballou, who's 0-2. The 0-1 from Fredericks is a breaking ball that he reaches out over the plate to try to get a piece of. He's unable to, and he falls back to 0-2. So a nice breaking ball there from Fredericks. Gets ahead in the count with that 73-mile-an-hour breaking pitch. It's 0-2. The next one is up and inside to Bellew. 1-2. That flag in right field now pointed towards straightaway right as the left-hander Bellew digs in. 1-2 from Fredericks is hard hit just above the Harwich dugout on the third base side. And Bellew stays alive. So that's promising there if he's able to straighten it out, Alex.
And he put a good swing on that ball, just roped it hard down the third base line. But like you said, if he could just swing a little bit earlier, straighten it out, bring home the ducks in the pond.
Next pitch is bounced in there, and a nice block by Winslow to keep it in front at 75 miles an hour. Another off-speeder there from Fredericks. Count 2-2. Fredericks working quickly. He comes set with the red glove in front of his chest. Here it comes, and it misses inside. So from 0-2 to 3-2 we go. Max Bellew has worked a solid count with the bases juiced in the top of the third inning. Still no outs on the board for the Mariners. Here it comes. Bellew holds back and doesn't go after a pitch that's in the dirt. Ball 4. 1 run comes in to score, and the Cats make it a 7-0 lead.
That was a tough pitch for Bellew to lay off of. Started his swing, then held up on the check swing. But Fredericks went with a pitch downstairs, and good eye by Bellew to hold back, and another RBI for Cotuit.
Grant J digs in, still with the bases loaded. Middle infielder's back. The corners are in. Fredericks' first pitch is fouled straight back, just missed off the bat of Grant J. So this is the third time that Jay will hit in this ball game. He's 1 for 1, a hit by pitch in the second, single in the first. The 0-1 pitch from Fredericks is a breaking ball outside that Winslow had to reach into the left-hand batter's box for, and the count's 1-1. So a chance here for the Cats to just keep the offense rolling and an opportunity to really blow this ball game open. Already 8 hits on the board for Cotuit in a 7-0 lead. Fredericks set. The 1-1 is hit high down the first base line, trailing foul. It's a very deep ballpark at White House Field. 400 to straightaway center, 330 down either baseline. Fredericks leans in, and now he comes set. Has the pitch he likes at 1-2. Grant J goes after it and comes up empty at strike 3. And with the bases loaded, Harwich is able to finally get that first out of the top of the third.
Next up, the left fielder from Arizona
That was a
State.
much needed out for Harwich there, especially the way that Grant Jay's been swinging the bat 1 for 1 today. Crushed the 3-run home run the last time Cotuit came out and played, that being on Tuesday. So a big strikeout for Fredericks there. Now he has to work on continuing to limit the damage in this inning with already 2 runs coming across the score.
Now Brandon Compton, a lefty-on-lefty matchup. He sends a high fly ball into the gap in right center field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Runner coming in to score from third. He does so easily. Advincula slides into third safely. They go station to station, and it's an RBI single for Brandon Compton to make it an 8-0 ball game. The Kettleers lead.
Next up, Cotuit. First base.
The right fielder Cam Maldonado came in hard on that ball. Thought he was going to go into a dive, but let it fall and station to station baseball because the runners had to hold up to see if Maldonado was going to haul in that fly ball. But just another productive at-bat for Cotuit.
Tanner Thatch, another left-handed bat to face the left-handed throwing Joseph Fredericks, who has really worked himself into trouble in this top of the third. Is able to dial in a first pitch breaking ball for strike 1 on Thatch, though. And now he comes set, bases still juiced. Corners are playing up on the grass. The 0-1. Thatch watches it go by. Count evens at 1. Plenty of fans on hand. Either grandstand on both sides, just above the first and third base dugouts. Fans in their lawn chairs on either side as well. The 1-1 pitch to Thatch draws a big swing and a miss, and the count's 1-2. Shadows have now completely engulfed this infield at White House Field. The outfielders still having to look into the sun. The 1-2 pitch is shot down the first base line, but foul. That was smoked by Tanner Thatch, who's looking for his second hit of the summer.
Thatch just a little bit out in front on that last pitch. If he could wait back just another moment, straighten that out, be another really productive at-bat.
The 1-2 from Fredericks is taken in the dirt. Winslow lets it squeeze by. Advincula races home, and he will score easily. Standing up there as both runners will move on to second and third, and it is now a 9-0 game. The Kets lead it. So that is the second run that's been able to come home on a wild pitch for the Kettleers, but then they've been able to take advantage of so many of these mistakes by Harwich. And now Tanner Thatch batting with one gone and runners on second and third. The 2-2 from Fredericks is taken in off the hands of Thatch. 3-2.
That wild pitch also eliminates the threat of a double play. So, costly mistake once again for Harwich.
Thatch with an open stance deep in the left-hand batter's box, and now a pitch clock issue for Joseph Fredericks. He just goes palms up and looks like that device isn't working on his right wrist, but nonetheless, he comes set with this 3-2. Thatch reaches out over the plate and flicks it straight back to stay alive. A nice emergency swing there by Tanner Thatch to receive another pitch at 3-2. Ogden at third has his toes on the grass. Everybody else is playing back. The 3-2 again is lifted into shallow left center field, medium depth. Bristol Carter makes his way over. He receives it, and now running home, Max Billou. He will score easily. And the 10th run of the game for the Kettleers comes home on a Tanner Thatch RBI sacrifice fly. So despite just getting his second hit of the season in his last at-bat, he's still able to make a difference and make it a double-digit lead for Cotuit in the top of the third. So how about this offensive performance, Alex? Could have never expected this.
Especially with the way that the offense has been swinging the bat. They are coming off their previous season high of runs in a game of 6. That came against YD, but they're just putting together a lot of really quality at-bats.
Fredericks gets a first pitch strike on Nolan Naraki, 0-1. 88 on the gun that time from Fredericks. And now facing Naraki, the only Kettleer who has not hit in this top of the third. Next pitch bounced in there, blocked by Winslow, who, as you mentioned earlier, Alex, has really been tested in this one. So it's been no runs in the top of the first inning for the Kettleers. 5 runs in the top of the second, 5 in the top of the third. They have 10 runs on 9 hits compared to Harwich's 2 hits. Of course, they've only been able to make their first rotation around the order, whereas the Kettleers halfway through their third. As it's rolled sharply on the ground towards third, Ogden is up and gunning and in time to make the play at first. So that ends the top of the third inning, not before the Kettleers pile on 5 more runs, and they lead it by 10 as we go into the bottom of the third on the Kets Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508
The shortstop for Penn State, number 2.
Harrison Bodendorf back onto the mound for a third inning of work. And needless to say, his bats have given him quite a cushion to pitch with to start off this bottom of the third frame. A 10-0 lead for the Kettleers as he dials in a first pitch at 77 miles an hour for ball 1. Bodendorf's next one is called to strike 1. 78 on the gun. The first one did miss, so the count's 1-1 as the scoreboard catches up in right field. Bodendorf with the black glove shielding his face now throws low and inside, 2-1. So he'll be facing the top of the batting lineup with Ryan Weingartner, who flew out to center field his first time up in the first inning, as the 2-1 pitch is just outside. 3 balls, 1 strikes to Weingartner, facing Bodendorf for the first time, who appeared in 20 games this past season for the Rainbow Warriors at Hawaii. The 3-1 pitch is outside. He lost him for ball 4. So if there's any way to respond after giving up 10 runs in the last 2 innings, it's to put your leadoff man on in the bottom of the third for Harwich.
That's the first time Harwich's leadoff guy has gotten on base so far, and the first free pass issued by Harrison Bodendorf, and just fell behind in the count and didn't have the control that we saw in the first inning and just lost Weingartner there.
Bodendorf takes a look at first, now pitching from the stretch, misses up and away to Danny Dickinson. Count 1-0. Dickinson was able to reach his first time up on a fielding error by Tyler Cerny at shortstop. He was the only runner to reach base, or actually was followed up by a single, but then after that, Bodendorf was able to buckle down and get 2 swinging Ks to end the first inning. The next one hit the box, and it's 1-1. Dickinson awaits. The pitch from Bodendorf is a fastball that's drilled down the right field line, charging in the right fielder Ballou. He lets it drop, up and gunning into the infield, and a nice throw there into Tyler Cerny to hold Ryan Weingartner at second. So Harwich will put runners on first and second to start off this bottom of the third.
I know the Cats are up by 10 runs, but this is still not the guy that you want to have stepping into the batter's box with 2 runners on base. Michael Anderson, he's 1 for 1 today. Average is at 625, is also at 2 home runs, 9 RBI, so he's been doing everything for Harwich. So it's going to be a tough task for Bodendorf here.
Bodendorf with the black glove in front of his chest takes a look at second and throws, and it's a foul tip straight back into the glove of Matt Klein. Bodendorf climbed the ladder there at 85. And Anderson couldn't get a good piece of wood on it. He's 1 for 1 with a single back in the first. That was his 10th hit of the season, a league best. The 0-1 is low and away. Played in 47 games at Rhode Island this past season and hit just .252. So has been able to make a turn for the better as he moves into his summer ball season. And now Anderson awaits from the right side. The 1-1 pitch is up and away. He takes 2 balls, 1 strike. Played last year in the New England League, played for the Gulls. .244 hitter there, 31 games. Big right-handed bat, 6'3", 227-pounder. As he flips one foul high and over our right shoulders out of play. Count evens up at 2-2. The lights are now on at White House Field. Sun is yet to set, though, down the first base line. Another great day for baseball. Bodendorf working with runners on first and second. The infield is playing back. Outfield straight up as well. The 2-2 to Anderson misses low and away. So the count pushed to full. Be interesting to see if these runners decide to take off here. Chance to get a head start on this 3-2 pitch from Bodendorf. Come set, here it comes. He reaches out over the plate and spins one down the third base line, and it just barely twists foul off the bat of Michael Anderson. And it looked like a swing there, Alex, where he just flung the barrel at it, and it still went a pretty long ways.
just a protective swing there as he didn't want to go down on strikes, and he just sort of flung his bat out over the heart of the plate and nearly got that ball to fall down the third base line, just blooped it into left field, but just a little bit off the left field line.
You wonder if Bodendorf will go back to that pitch right here, even with the count 3-2. Here it comes. He goes back to the breaking ball, but misses low and outside for ball 4. So Harwich, just as Cotuit has done in the past 2 frames, has loaded the bases with nobody gone here in the bottom of the third. 2 walks and a single issued by Harrison Bodendorf, and now Matt Klein will have a word with him on the mound. So this is something that we've seen the catchers do a little bit in these first few games of the year, Alex, when the pitchers run into some trouble, go out there, try to talk a few things over, to have that communication verbally rather than just through signs.
It's been an effective strategy, and I feel like we've seen it especially over the last 2 games where the Cotuit catchers come out. Just make sure you're on the same page, and sometimes that's all it takes, whether it's a simple thing that the catcher says just gets the pitcher refocused, and hopefully for Bodendorf's sake, it happens in this at-bat.
His first pitch to Cam Maldonado missed upstairs. 1-0 the count to Maldonado, who struck out swinging against Bodendorf his last time up. Now batting with the bases juiced. The 1-0 from Bodendorf is a fastball. Low and inside for a called strike 1. That was 85 on the gun from Bodendorf, of course working with the fastball, changeup, and slider. The next pitch draws a check swing from Maldonado, and it's called a ball outside, 2-1. They don't check with the first base ump to see if he went. He was able to hold back. 2 balls and 1 strikes to the right-handed swinging right fielder out of Northeastern. Bodendorf's 2-1 is shot high and foul over the Kets on deck circle and out of play. They'll do it at 2-2. 85 that time from Bodendorf. Still working with the bases juice. Nobody gone in this inning. Tanner Thatch is even with the bag at first base, far off the line. Nolan Naraki has his toes on the grass at third, a bit closer to the bag, and the middle infielders are playing back. The 2-2 from Bodendorf is outside, and back-to-back full counts faced by the Kettleers and Harrison Bodendorf with the bases juice now. So he lost Michael Anderson on 4 pitches or on a base on balls to load the bases, his second walk of the inning. And the 3-2 pitch. Called a strike 3. Maldonado thought it was way low and inside. He flung the bat towards his third base dugout, but he'll be picking that one up and headed back to the dugout where Harwich has now tallied their first out of this bottom of the third. And the first looking K of the day for Harrison Bodendorf, 4th overall.
It was a much-needed strikeout for Bodendorf there. 21 pitches so far in this bottom of the third. Gets his first out of the inning and just beautifully located on the inner portion of the plate.
And now a mound visit from Mike Roberts, the entire infield. They will go to the bullpen for the first time today. It'll be from lefty to lefty, from Harrison Bodendorf to Ian May. And he will be pitching with the bases juiced in the bottom of the third inning, with the Kettleers leading 10-0. We'll take a quick break from White House Field and be back on the Cats Radio Network.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
New pitcher inserted into the game for the Kettleers in the midst of the bottom of the third inning with the Kets leading 10-0. Ian May will get his second appearance of the 2024 summer. And he is pitching in a difficult situation here with Harwich having the bases loaded and one out for Jake Ogden. The right-handed batter receives the first pitch from Ian May. It's a breaking ball outside 1-0. May enters the game having thrown just one appearance so far against Wareham. Went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. Only one of them was earned, though, and even 1 walk to 1 strikeout. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball fouled straight back into the fence. Count evens up at 1-1. So it's Michael Anderson at first. Danny Dickinson takes his lead at second. Ryan Weingartner, who led off this inning with a walk, is at third. May leans in with the light blue glove, resembling his colors of Cal Berkeley, where he's pitched the last 3 seasons. And the next pitch is toying with the top of the zone, but it's called a strike one at 72 miles an hour from the lefty. And the count's 2-1 on Jake Ogden, who struck out swinging his first time up. May leans in. That pitch called a strike 2. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes for Ogden. Here it comes. Fouled off the end of the bat and rolled towards the Harwich dugout. So entering this ball game, Harwich, one of the best teams with runners in scoring position. 327 is their average. 16 hits as a team with runners in scoring position, but so far they're 0 for 3 today. May comes set. His 1-2 serving is a breaking ball that is lifted high and foul just over the fencing on the left field side. Gets over the initial row of fans sitting atop that grassy berm. Fans on either side in their lawn chairs. Some scattered around the outfield where it's simply just trees and a scoreboard, much similarly to Lowell Park. Ian May's 1-2 again is cut on and missed. Strike 3. Ogden went chasing after a low 88-mile-an-hour fastball from May, and a crucial second out in the bottom of the second inning keeps the bases juiced.
That was a much-needed punch-out of Jake Ogden, who falls victim to the strikeout again, and now the Cotuit pitching staff just 1 out away from getting out of this bases-loaded jam.
Bristol Carter digs in, right-handed bat, who grounded out to third his last time up. As May leans in, shakes off a pair of signs from the catcher Matt Klein, and he comes set with 6 on the pitch clock. He releases, and it's a first pitch hit hard on the ground towards Advincula at second. A quick flip to second for Tyler Cerny, who receives it there. A fielder's choice put out to end the bottom of the third inning. And after the Mariners were able to load the bases to start off this frame, the Kettleers are able to get 3 up, 3 down on the Mariners. And we go into the top of the 4th inning. The Kets leading 10-0 on the Kettleers radio network.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
With 30 plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community.
Back from White House Field for the top of the fourth inning, and the Kettleers leading 10-0. And the first pitch from Joseph Fredericks is down the heart of the plate to Tyler Cerny, 0-1. Fredericks returns to the bump for a second inning of work. Pitched and allowed 5 runs in the top of the second. High fly ball down the left field line off the bat of Cerny, and that sinks in for a base hit. Just a couple of feet in fair territory as Robbie Burnett receives it and throws it in. It's not going to be in time to get Tyler Cerny, who's in standing up at second with a leadoff double.
And it's been the bottom part of this Cotuit lineup that has really been sparking this offensive outburst. Cerny has reached all 3 plate appearances today, 3 for 3, and Matt Klein, he's had 2 really productive at-bats, and that's allowed Cotuit to really attack this Harwich pitching staff and put runs up on the board.
That's just the second double by the Kettleers bats so far this season, and we're in Game 5. The 0-1 pitch is cut on and missed by Matt Klein, low in the zone. Klein facing Fredericks for the second time. Has reached on an error and has walked. He has also scored a pair of runs. A lefty on lefty matchup at the plate, and the payoff pitch to Klein misses outside. Fredericks coming off of his freshman campaign at West Virginia this past season. The 5'9", 185 left-hander is set on the bump with a 1-1 pitch to Klein. Hard hit on the ground towards second. A 3-hopper received by Masaki, who throws to first in time there to get Matt Klein as Tyler Cerny moves up to 90 feet away.
That was a productive at-bat for Klein. He hit it on the ground on that right side, allowing Cerny to move up to third and just 90 feet away from being the 11th run for Cotuit.
Fredericks leans in, and Nathan Hall gets set for his third at-bat of the day. He's 2 for 2. The pitch turns in on the breaking ball for a called strike 1. So a great start to his summer so far in the regular season for the Kettleers for Nathan Hall. Another chance to plate more runs here for the Kets. The 0-1 pitch is rolled on the ground sharply towards third. Cerny has to get out of the way of that one. It's a foul ball, and the count's 0-2. So it just must be something about league debuts for Nathan Hall as the 0-2 pitch is outside. We'll have more on that at the end of the bottom of the fourth inning. Adele Huffman bringing us some information on Nathan Hall's first collegiate baseball game at Clemson. And that came earlier this season after redshirting his first year at Clemson in 2023. He gets a piece of the next pitch and fouls it off to stay alive at 1-2.
Hall just doing a good job to see another pitch there and continue this at bat. The 5th pitch incoming.
Next pitch misses low and away at ankle height to Hall. So the count is 2-2 to Hall, who appeared in 12 games for Clemson this past season, playing on the Vineyard last year, a .282 average in 30 games. The 2-2. Outside, count full.
This has been an impressive at-bat for Hall so far. Fell down on the count 0-2. Has watched two tough pitches, also fouled off a couple of pitches, and now brings the count here full.
It bounces a couple feet in front of home plate, and Nathan Hall has himself an easy walk. A non-competitive pitch that time from Joseph Fredericks, and we'll see when Steve Englert decides to go to his bullpen with a right-hander warming. It brings up Jaron Advincula, has reached in both of his first plate appearances so far today and scored 2 runs. First pitch is down and away. The runners are on the corners with 1 out. The Cats were able to get their 3rd straight leadoff man aboard to start off this inning. That's Tyler Cerny, who stands on 3rd. A ground out by Matt Klein, and now Nathan Hall stands on first with 1 gone as the 1-0 pitch is roped foul towards the Cats dugout. 89 on the gun from Joseph Fredericks. Fredericks appeared in 18 games for the Mountaineers this past season, a 1.13 ERA, allowed just 2 earned runs in 16 innings pitched. Next pitch to Advincula, misses low and inside, and it's 2-1. Struggled in the strikeout to walk category, though, 12 walks to 10 strikeouts. In his 3rd of the game just recently issued to Nate Hall. The runners are on the corners for Advincula. The 2-1 pitch is roped down the first base line, but barely foul.
Advincula turned on that pitch from Fredericks there and hit a nice shot down the right field line, but just pulled it too far.
Now ready as Fredericks from the stretch deals a 2-2 pitch. It's hit hard up the middle, past the diving Ryan Weingartner and into center field for a base hit. It's an RBI single for Jaron Advincula as Tyler Cerny scores from 3rd, and the Kettleers have an 11-0 lead.
Advincula smoked that ball right up the middle. Ryan Weingartner went into a dive and tried to snag that ball in, but the ball just was hit blistering right up the middle, and just another hit for this bottom of the order. And Advincula, he's reached 3 times today, and now Max Ballou finds himself in a great spot with 2 runners on and just 1 out in the inning.
Advincula now 2 for 2 on the day. And now Max Ballou, the leadoff batter who's 0 for 2, takes in the dirt. Winslow is able to keep it in front and locate it quickly. So the runners on first and second have to stay put. Hall on second, Advincula on first, and it's an 11-0 lead for the Kettleers in the top of the 4th inning. 11 hits on the board for the Cats, just 3 for the Mariners, an error aside. Fredericks from the stretch takes a look at second. And now the 1-0 is in off the knees of Max Ballou. Counts 2-0. Outfielders are playing straight up. Third baseman Ogden far off the line at 3rd, even with the bag. Everyone else shifted slightly to the right for the left-handed swinging Max Ballou. They're playing him to the pull side with the count 2-0. Here it comes. And it's chopped on the ground towards the on-deck circle, and a nice grab by Grant Jay, who's standing there awaiting his 4th at-bat of the game. Some flag in right field pointed towards center. And Fredericks, with runners on first and second, deals a 2-1 pitch that bounces in the dirt. Winslow able to block it. He calls time with the count 3-1. And that breaking ball for Fredericks, really not being able to find the box with it. Another one that bounces up there. Not doing his catcher too many favors.
We've had to see Winslow make a couple of nice blocks. 3 wild pitches for Fredericks so far in his outing.
Fredericks 3-1. Ballou gets a piece of it and rolls it straight back and brings the count to 3-2.
Those wild pitches extremely costly, especially with how large this backstop is here in Harwich, and that's allowed Cotuit to plate a couple of runs and continue this offensive outburst.
Fredericks a look at second. Takes another look there and delivers the 3-2 home to Ballou. Hard shot on the ground towards first, but just foul. So you asked me the other day, Alex, what do I think the field with the most foul territory is? I think this might have to be it.
This could definitely be it. There's a lot of room down each line, and especially behind home plate.
Especially with the bullpens down either baseline as well. Really just expands that area as the 3-2 pitch from Fredericks is fouled straight back by Ballou. And a nice battle worked here by the left-handed hitter who hit above 300 this past season for the Longhorns. So the first 3 pitches, or all the balls in this count, missed down beneath the zone. The next 5 strikes have been pretty much right down the middle, and now another foul ball laced straight back by Ballou extends this count to 9 pitches.
And he's continuing to make Fredericks work. His pitch count nearing 70. He's at 67 so far, and he's only gotten 4 Kettleers out.
But if you're Steve Engler, got to appreciate this outing from Fredericks to eat up some time, eat up some innings, rather than having to waste a few arms on these pair of rallies that the Kets have seen in the top of the second and third, and potentially here in the top of the fourth. The next pitch is fouled off towards the Kets dugout by Ballou. He was ahead of that 88 mile an hour fastball from Fredericks, and the count remains 3-2. So the 10th pitch of the at-bat is upcoming. Fredericks leans in and now comes set with the red glove in front of his chest, looks back at Nathan Hall at second, and now he deals home, and it's too far inside. Ballou takes ball 4. So the Kettleers will load the bases in the 4th inning with just 1 gone.
That was an excellent at-bat from Max Ballou. Fouled off 5 consecutive pitches and then just never expanded his zone, and Fredericks came too far inside there. Ballou taking all the way and draws the walk and now loads the bases for the 3rd consecutive inning.
And now Steve Englert is standing on the mound talking things over with his entire infield. We'll see if he makes the move to the bullpen. The right-handed reliever is standing down there on the bump, and now he will make the move to the bullpen. So we will take a quick break here from White House Field. The Kets leading 11-0, and a pitching change in Harwich. We'll be back in a moment.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
Hi, this is Sean Keys, third baseman from Bucknell University, and you're listening to the Cotuit Kettleers broadcast network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Osterville.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399. Back from White House Field with the Kettleers leading 11-0. Thank you for tuning in to the Kettleers Radio Network. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco, Adele Huffman are with you. Jimmy Shantulis, Cam Christie on the controls. And a new pitcher in the game for the Harwich Mariners as the Kettleers have once again loaded the bases in this top of the fourth inning. They've already brought one run around to score. That was off an RBI single by Jaron Advincula. He's now standing on second. Standing over at third is Nathan Hall, who worked a walk. Max Ballou also walked in a 10-pitch at-bat effort. And now Grant Jay will be the first man to face the new right-handed pitcher in the game for Harwich. It's Andrew Evans, tall right-handed reliever, to face Jay, the designated hitter, who is 1 for 2. First pitch from Evans is too far inside, and Jay takes control 1-0. The corner infielders are playing up on the grass. Middle infielders are back. The 1-0 pitch from Evans is up and inside. Jay ahead now 2-0.
Evans this past year at Kansas State made 11 appearances, started 2 games, had a 4-2 record, but had a 10.08 ERA in 25 innings of work.
Facing Grant Jay to start off this top of the fourth inning with one gone, and now Jay takes upstairs again, and it's 3-0. So 3 straight fastballs from Evans, and they have all missed up high. The first one a bit more inside than it was high. But nonetheless, he is down in the count 3-0. Jay with a single, a hit by pitch, and a strikeout. The 3-0 pitch is upstairs. A little chin music there, but it's going to bring home the 12th run of the game for the Kettleers. Nathan Hall scores from third. Grant Jay is on his way to first. And with one gone, here comes Brandon Compton.
Evans just struggling to find the strike zone out of coming in out of the bullpen. Tried to really work it high and in tight against Jay, but Jay laying off on all the heaters.
Brandon Compton's first pitch is spoiled high and to the left side out of play. Some fans headed to the exits early towards the parking lot as their Harwich Mariners trail this one 12-0. Kettleers entering this ball game with 12 runs scored across the first 4 games of the season. As the 0-1 pitch is hammered to deep right field, Brandon Compton will watch that one go. A grand slam for Brandon Compton in the top of the fourth inning. Absolutely blows this one open, and the Kettleers make it a 16-0 ball game.
Brandon Compton exploded on that pitch, was left right down Main Street for Andrew Evans, and Compton made no mistake jacking that to deep right field, and in one swing, he clears the bases.
Next up, the first baseman from UNC Wilmington, number 30, Tanner Thatch.
Tanner Thatch digs in. Now a 16-0 ball game. Andrew Evans deals. It's a fastball up and away at 92 for ball 1. Infield shifted to the left for the left-handed swinging Thatch. Now batting with the bases empty. He spoils one foul high to the left out of play. Compton with 14 home runs this past season at Arizona State, .661 slugging percentage, and his second of the season for the Kettleers in as many games. Back-to-back games with a homer for Brandon Compton. The last one traveling 415 feet. And now the 2-1. Thatch gets one in off of his hands and sends the count to 2-2 as he fouls it straight back. So the first homer of the season from Brandon Compton, 415 feet. That one, 412. Working from the windup, Evans deals a 2-2 pitch that Thatch thought about swinging but pulled back, and it's 3-2.
Compton now up to 8 RBIs so far on the season, has 5 today, and is really starting to swing a hot bat.
The 3-2 again is called a ball 4. Slightly outside to Tanner Thatch, and Andrew Evans loses him on 6 pitches. So Tanner Thatch continues this inning, and I think that's something that the Kettleers, well, needless to say, have done a fantastic job at today, but in recent games, they haven't been able to extend the innings and work counts to the degree that we've seen today, and I know that's something that you brought up in the pregame show, Alex.
That's exactly right, and they've been doing a good job laying off those tough pitchers, but they're also getting hits up and down the lineup. And of course, anytime you put up 16 runs, the offense is going to have a great day. But they're getting hits with runners in scoring position. They have 12 hits on the board today, and they're 6 for 15 with runners in scoring position, much better than the 2 hits that they had coming into it.
First pitch was in the zone to Nolan Naraki. The next one is hammered to deep left center field, and the Kettleers have their third home run of the ball game. A 2-run blast by Nolan Naraki makes it an 18-0 score in the top of the fourth, the first blast of the season for Naraki.
The bats have came to play for Cotuit today. Just anything that this Harwich pitching staff is throwing is getting hammered over the wall. And the Rocky making himself known to the Cotuit faithful, picking up his second hit, and just an offensive masterclass for the Kettleers.
18 runs on 13 hits for the Kets, and Tyler Cerny fans through a first pitch fastball for strike one. The 0-1 from Evans is above the letters of Tyler Cerny. 1-1 the count to the right-handed swinging shortstop out of Indiana. And he laces this one on the ground. A broken bat, though, as it dies on the infield grass, and Carmelo Musakia is able to make the play to first for out number 2. So Tyler Cerny goes back to 1 for 2 just in the top of the fourth inning. 3 for 4 overall. He led off the top of the fourth with a double, came around to score on Jaron Advincula's RBI single. And now Matt Klein keeps things going with a laced single into left field for a base hit. His first hit of the day.
The hits just keep coming for Cotuit, and it's Andrew Evans has really struggled coming out of the bullpen so far. He's thrown 18 pitches and really is just getting battered all over the park.
Nathan Hall, who's 2 for 2 with a walk, 3 runs scored, a 3-run homer to jumpstart this offense back in the top of the second inning. And they have now scored 15 runs since then. Evans' first pitch to him finds the dirt, and it's 1-0. So with Matt Klein's hit, only one batter in the Kettleers lineup, 1 through 9, has yet to get a hit so far today. Max Ballou, he is 0 for 2 on the day, a pair of walks, an RBI, and a run scored. So even the guys, or the singular guy in this lineup who hasn't been able to get a hit, has made a difference. As the next pitch is rolled on the ground towards short, an underhand flip by Weingartner to get the easy force play at second is in time to end the top of the fourth inning. But not before the Kettleers get 8 more runs on the board, helped by a grand slam off the bat of Brandon Compton, also a 2-run blast by Nolan Naraki, and they lead it 18-0 as we go into the bottom of the fourth on the Kets Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today. Back from White House Field for the bottom of the fourth inning between Cotuit and Harwich. And after Harwich surged for a 13-2 win to defeat the Kettleers on their home field on opening day, the Kettleers have grabbed an 18-0 lead through just 4 innings at the plate. The first pitch missed up high in the zone, and the next one is in there for strike one to Macon Winslow. A 1-1 count against Winslow, who's facing Ian May for the first time. Winslow 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout. And now a hard hit ball launched down the right field line and foul. But not the only blowout in the league tonight, Alex.
That is not Brewster with a 15-4 victory over Wareham. That game only going 7, so runs have been plenty. YD also took down Falmouth 10-8.
Fly ball, right field, going back on it, Ballou. Sets camp under it. And that's out number 1 for Ian May and the Kets to start off this bottom of the fourth.
May has come on and done a really nice job. Got Ogden and Carter to end the bottom of the third and now gets Winslow to fly out. So just pitching to contact here and getting quick and efficient outs.
Working from the windup with the infield straight up, outfield straight up as well. May's first pitch to Masakia. Lefty misses down low. 1-0. Top of the 8th inning at Bourne. They lead the Harbor Hawks 5-3. Hyannis the only unbeaten team in the league, and Bourne seemingly under 6 outs away from being the first team to hand Hyannis their first loss, and Bourne another team that's got their backs against the wall at 1-3 so far. And now the count 3-0 to Carmel Masakia.
Hyannis is threatening, though. They have scored a run so far in this top of the 8th. They also have runners on second and third with 1 out in the inning.
3-0 pitch from May, gets over top. Count 3-1 against Masakia, who was able to get one of Harwich's 3 hits in his first at bat in the second inning. May's 3-1. Big swing and a miss there, and a nice job by the lefty to work his way back into this count. It's run full with that 88-mile-an-hour fastball located down in the zone. See what he comes back with here with the payoff pitch. Here it comes. Another fastball flared high and foul above the Kets dugout and out of play. Yeah, that one got done in 7 innings over in Brewster, that 15-4 win over Wareham. Of course, the rule in place, just like in college ball, as the 3-2 pitch from May is just outside ball 4. So Masakia heads to first. Another base runner in another inning for the Mariners. So all 4 innings, the Mariners have been able to put at least 1 base runner on. They've been unable to bring any runs home, though. So the new rule being in place, as mentioned before, a 10-run mercy rule after 7 innings ends the ball game. May's first pitch to Robbie Burnett is on the outer half and called to strike 1. Vocal strike call from the home plate umpire.
That's exactly right. And Brewster in that game, Joe, they jumped out to a 14-0 lead after 3.
High chopper over the mound. Cerny gets it right at the bag and is able to get the easy force out there. Not enough time to relay it to first. So Burnett reaches on the fielder's choice, and there's 2 gone.
Top gunner for the Mariners. The shortstop for Penn State, number 2, Ryan Weingartner.
A smart play by Cerny there. Ball was slowly chopped right at the middle. Knew he didn't have time to get 2, so just made the easy play and stepped right on the bag to get the second out of the inning.
Now the top of the lineup, Ryan Weingartner. He's 0 for 1 and drills this one straight into center field for a base hit. So the runners will move up to first and second with 2 gone, and the first hit of the day for Ryan Weingartner.
Mariners, the DH from Utah Valley, number 3, Daniel Dickinson.
Daniel Dickinson is the batter out of Utah Valley for Harwich. So far, 1 for 2. Was able to reach on an error in the first, singled his last at bat in the third. First pitch he sees from May is low and inside. It squeezes out of the glove of Matt Klein. Rolls about 10 feet behind home plate, and both runners are able to move up to second and third. Daniel Dickinson, the WAC preseason player of the year, all WAC preseason second baseman. Plays solid defense, batting in the designated hitter spot today, though, as Matt Klein had a few words for Ian May, and now he returns to behind the dish to receive this 1-0 pitch for Daniel Dickinson, who entered this game at a 200 clip. 3 RBIs, a good stolen base clip too. 100% through 4 games. He's 2 for 2. It's a Harwich team that does not steal too many bases. But the Kettleers with just 1 more than that, 6 compared to Harwich's 5. As the next pitch is on the inner half to Dickinson and called to strike 1. So May with the light blue glove leans in. The runners are on second and third. And here it comes. It's rolled on the ground towards Tanner Thatch. Deep into the hole. He's going to have to throw. May covering the bag, having to reach his right foot onto the bag, and he barely is able to get a piece to complete the third out of this bottom of the 4th inning. So Harwich puts 2 base runners on, a walk, a single, and a fielder's choice, but nothing doing after that, as the Kettleers still lead it 18-0. And before we send things to the top of the 5th, we'll check in once more with our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman. Adele?
Thanks, Joe. Let's talk a little bit about Nolan Naraki. His first time playing for Cotuit this 2024 summer season. He's our third baseman from Clemson. He actually redshirted his first year at Clemson, but this past year he was in 36 games with a 264 batting average and actually hit a grand slam in his third collegiate at bat. And he's teammates with Nathan Hall at center field, so it'll be interesting to see the chemistry they have on this team. They've both had great plays tonight, Joe, Alex. What's it like seeing these two come from Clemson to play at Cotuit this summer?
Well, I think it's great, and it's also cool to see that they're both guys who played on the Vineyard last summer too in the NECBL. So to kind of be able to go as a duo throughout these summer leagues and from college into different summer ball teams, I mean, that's got to be pretty cool. And to always have that familiarity definitely makes that transition a little easier. And I think you're definitely seeing that today with the way they're performing.
That's something that we've talked about pretty much all summer long. Having guys that have played together at the collegiate level definitely makes that transition easier. And both guys who have flashed the power today, both have hit home runs and leading to this 18-run outburst for Cotuit. So it's definitely nice to see two guys thrive at the collegiate level, then play together through the summer and also see those same results.
Absolutely. And Jaron Advincula, a man who
The second base.
was joined on this roster by one of his teammates at Cal Berkeley this past season, PJ Moutsaritas. Starting at second today is Advincula, and he swats one foul straight back. It's 0-1. Advincula, 2 for 2 today, has reached in all 3 plate appearances, and now he watches a breaking ball fall in at belt height for strike 2. Down 0-2 in the count now against Andrew Evans. Evans nods up and down once and goes into his windup, throws a fastball that is hit on the ground towards third sharply, and back for it is Jake Ogden. Throws to first in time by 3 steps to get Advincula there. A key first out to start off this top of the 5th inning, something Harwich hasn't been able to do since the top of the 1st.
The first at bat in these innings have really been paramount for Cotuit's success. As soon as you get a runner on base, the offense has just been swinging at a new level with guys on, and these pitchers, it gives them something else to think about, and they've struggled.
First pitch to Max Ballou is a breaking ball over the outer edge for strike one. Ballou is 0 for 2, 2 walks on the day. If he gets a hit, every single player in the Kettleers starting 9 will have at least one base knock. Infield shifted to the left for the left-handed hitter as he rockets one into center field, and that drops in for a base hit. So everybody 1 through 9 in this Ketts lineup has been able to get a hit. And coincidentally, the leadoff man is the last one to get it as he improves to 1 for 3.
Ballou not trying to do too much, just taking the pitch that was left right down the middle by Evans and lining that into center field. And the bats have just continued to come alive and pouring things on here as this game progresses.
That was the 15th hit of the day for the Kettleers. He has a short lead at first and now a big hack at the first pitch by Grant J, who is looking for his second hit of the ball game. He is 1 for 2, has been hit by the pitch, has walked, struck out, and he singled in the first. The 0-1 from Andrew Evans in this right-on-right battle is down and outside, drew another big swing from Jay, and he's back to 0-2. So another base runner put on base by the Kettleers. They've put at least one on in each of these first 5 innings. As the 0-2 pitch is cut on and missed, as Andrew Evans hits that spot 3 straight times against Grant J. He gets 3 swing and misses, and it's the second strikeout of the day for Jay and the second out of this top of the 5th inning. Brandon Compton stepping in, following up his last at-bat where he hit the first grand slam of the summer for the Kettleers. They did that 6 times in 2023. First pitch Compton sees is a breaking ball that falls beneath his knees, 1-0. So a grand slam, he's up to 5 RBIs, a 2-run homer in the last game, 415 feet, 412 feet today at White House Field, and now he hits a hard ground ball that bounces over the second baseman and into center field. So it looked like a routine 3-hopper to second. Musaki was making his way over on the backhand, but it takes a funny hop and just catapults straight into center field for Brandon Compton's 3rd hit of the day.
Well, Cotuit's getting all the bounces here tonight, like you mentioned, Joe. Just appeared like a routine ground ball off the bat of Compton and ricochets high over the second baseman. And it's just one of those nights for Cotuit where everything that comes off the bat, a guy's getting on.
And now Chris Arroyo will grab a bat and hit for Tanner Thatch. The lefty awaits a breaking ball that has the bottom fall out of it and drop in low and inside, strike 1. Tanner Thatch's day is done. He grounded out, singled, hit a sacrifice fly, and walked. Arroyo, the left-handed bat, looking for that first hit of the season. He takes another breaking ball outside, and the count evens up at 1-1. Arroyo will be at Virginia next year. Played his past year at Pasco Hernando State down in Florida, where he was a pitcher, outfielder, and first baseman, and now he fouls one back into the netting, and the count's 1-2. Had a 3.53 ERA and over 63 innings pitched, while also batting at a clip above 400. 44 games there last season, and now he rolls one over towards second base, as Musakia is up with it and throws to first, an easy 4-3 putout to end the top of the 5th frame. So the Kettleers lead it 18-0, and when we come back in the bottom of the 5th, my broadcast partner Alex Rocco will take you home on the play-by-play on the Ketts Radio Network.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
The bottom of the fifth. First baseman.
Bottom of the fifth, Cotuit with an 18-0 advantage. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by my broadcast partner Joe Pratt and one of our writers, Shane Patagnas. Michael Anderson takes a big cut out of the first pitch from Ian May and comes up with nothing but errors. Count now moves to 0-1. Anderson, 1 for 1 on the day, singled back in the first inning and walked in the third as May's 0-1 pitch. That one misses low, even the count at 1-1. And Shane, tonight this has been a really impressive offense.
Yes, certainly, and it's been so much offense that we're going to have to hit the research and even see what the team record is. I know the other writer, Connor Smith, was getting on that in the 5th inning.
Anderson swings away at the 1-1 pitch, lofts that high and foul down the right field line, making the count 1-2. But Cotuit, 16 hits, 18 runs so far. Harwich, just 4 hits, and they've been blanked on the scoreboard as Anderson rockets that right to Jaron Advincula, who gloves it down for a loud out number 1. So Advincula making the play, moving to his right, catches a liner as Anderson set down.
Yeah, Shane, we got to see a blowout last year at Lowell Park, but it was Falmouth, a 27-2 win against the Kettleers. That just seemed a bit more dominant. To score 9 more runs than the Kettleers have already on the board right now would seemingly be impossible.
Yeah, I had the displeasure of writing that night's game recap, and it was a near record-setting night in the history of the Cape League, and of course it would have been fitting, I think, in last year's 100th season, but runs, hits, at-bats, they were very close to setting the record.
Yeah, Maldonado, the 1-1 pitch fouls that away. So the count is 1-2 on Maldonado, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs, one swinging, that coming back in the bottom of the first, and he was punched out looking. That was back in the bottom of the third. The 1-2 from May, this one hit on the ground toward the second baseman Advincula, fields it on the hop, throw is in time to nab Maldonado for the second out of the inning.
You know, Shane, this team has really struggled offensively through the first few games. And, before the game, I was kind of thinking maybe all this team needs is one of those big innings. We haven't had that yet. And so to have one of those big innings and 3 of them back to back, I mean, how big do you think that is for this team offensively?
I mean, yeah, when you look at this White House Field scoreboard, 5, 5, and 8 in the second, third, and fourth innings, offense certainly was a struggle, only 2 runs each through the first 3 games, but I think you almost need to attribute it to that 9th inning in Wareham, where it was only a 4-run game, but the way that the night had gone, you really kind of felt that the Kettleers would have been dead and might have given up easily, but they rallied, got the tying run on base, I believe, if not already at the plate,
Yep.
and then scored 6 runs against on Tuesday, and now the offense keeps it rolling.
And you're starting to see Cotuit put the pieces together offensively, like you had mentioned, and putting together big innings as Jake Ogden hits this one straight up into the air. Getting underneath it is the center fielder Nathan Hall, who makes the catch to complete the 1-2-3, bottom of the 5th for Ian May. So Harwich goes 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Cotuit still leads 18-0 here on the Cats Digital Network. RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, This Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
With 30 plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. It's been all Cotuit from White House Field as they have an 18-0 lead, just beginning the top of the sixth. And it's the fourth arm today used by Harwich. Michael Benzer, the lefty, comes on and he will face Nolan Araki, Tyler Cerny, and Matt Klein. Benzer, the rising junior who attends the University of Houston this past campaign, had a 1-2 record with a 3.21 ERA. In 14 innings of work, he walked 16 while striking out 14. So now digging in is the third baseman, Nolan Naraki.
Top of the sixth.
Naraki, he's still 2 for 4 on the day.
Nolan Naraki.
Singled in his first at-bat as a Ket, homered in his last, at coming back in the fourth inning. Benzer's first pitch to the third baseman misses low for ball number 1. Shane Patagna still along for the ride with us. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt. And excellent pitching tonight for the Cats, joined with great offense, and it's really felt like the first complete game Cotuit has played this year.
It's been complete and then some when you're up by 2 touchdowns and 2 safeties.
They went for 2. Twice.
And picked up a safety. Benzer catches the inner part of the strike zone here against Naraki. The count now moves to 1-2. Benzer working out of the windup. The lefty kicks and deals. In there for strike 3. Naraki down looking for his second strikeout of the ballgame and a big first out of the inning.
Next up, the shortstop from Indiana, number 6, Tyler Cerny.
Decent debuts here for the Clemson guys and Martha's Vineyard guys from last year, and Araki and Nathan Hall. Shane, we were able to actually see Hall's first homer of the summer on the Vineyard against his former team. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I talked to him after the game on that Saturday afternoon in Martha's Vineyard, and he said even though the season didn't go as planned at Clemson, I was mainly just focused on having fun and being able to play again, regardless of the circumstance. It was great to be back in the Vineyard. Being on that team last year is kind of like a family, so hitting another home run there was bittersweet, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, especially because of the year that they had. I believe they won the NECBL, or in 2022 they won the NECBL championship, and Kettleers have had a lot of success when they go from the Vineyard then to Cotuit. Cam Hill being a stunning example of that.
Yeah, Ray Schlesinger was also a member of that 22 team, and there's certainly a pipeline from the Sharks to the Kets. You know, think of Scott Seeker, late season addition last year.
3-1 is the count now here on Cerny. Benzer deals the 3-1. Looked at, Cerny thought it was ball 4, but gets called to strike. Now the count runs full here with 1 out in the inning. Benzer working quickly, now deals the 3-2. Called strike three, back-to-back strikeout looking for the Cats offense, and Michael Benzer comes out of the pen and gets the first two guys looking here in the top of the sixth.
The catcher from Louisville, number 18, Matt Klein.
Yeah, had a chance to see Benzer's pretty solid stuff here in this top of the sixth inning, but not a high strikeout guy over at school. Just 14 strikeouts to 16 walks in 14 innings this past year at Houston, and making that interesting switch in conference from Oklahoma State to Houston from 2023 to 24. It's really not often that you see a guy make a switch like that, especially from a team as strong as Oklahoma State.
2-0 is the count here on Matt Klein. Klein today, he's reached in 3 of his at-bats. 1 for 3, has also scored 2 runs. And he's worked a walk. But Shane, one of your other pieces that you wrote this year on Merritt Beaker, and that was just a really excellent story. So if you haven't read it yet, definitely go check it out on the Kettleers website. But Shane, what was it like just talking to Beaker?
Beaker's a very humble guy, and he had an interesting story that I wasn't even necessarily looking for, but just tried to look at him going from 2 years at East Carolina, kind of, buried down on the depth chart there, but transfers to Ball State and wins the MAC Pitcher of the Year. And
Matt Klein puts this down the left field line. He will take the turnaround first. He'll head for second. The throw is in the second, and he's out. Gunned down by Robbie Burnett from left field as Matt Klein tried to stretch it into extra bases, but gets nabbed to end the top of the sixth. So just the one hit for Cotuit as they are held scoreless for the first time since, well, just an inning ago. But we head to the bottom of the sixth with the Cats up 18-0 here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
Hi, this is Sean Keys, third baseman from Bucknell University, and you're listening to the Cotuit Kettleers Broadcast Network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
6, 7, 8 due up here in the bottom of the sixth as Ian May back out on the mound for Cotuit, and he has really been dominant so far today. 2 2/3 innings pitched, has allowed just 1 hit, walked 1, and struck out 1. As Bristol Carter digging in, watches the first pitch from May miss off the plate for ball 1. Carter today 0 for 2, the pair of groundouts, as he chops this one on the ground toward the shortstop. Cerny fields it cleanly. Throw is in time to nab Carter for out number 1 here in the sixth.
So Shane, you were telling us about another member of this relief staff for the Kettleers, Merritt Beaker, and just having a chance to talk with him after the Orleans game where he was able to get the win there, the only win for the Kets on the season. And just what else did he have for you?
Well, yeah, the angle of the story I was going for was really just simply, hey, it's the second year that the MAC Pitcher of the Year has been a Kettleer, also a left-handed pitcher that had over 100 strikeouts. Of course, 2023, that was Joe Whitman, who went in the compensatory round B on day 1 of the 2023 MLB draft to the San Francisco Giants. And just kind of more so having a conversation with him really than an interview, found out that he actually grew up an East Carolina fan. Both of his parents graduated from there, and he lived about a 3-hour drive away.
As Winslow hits this one into left field, making the grab is Brandon Compton on the run, so he hauls out the long fly ball from Winslow for the second out of the inning.
Second baseman for Northeastern. 5, Carmelo Muzakia.
So it must have been a dream come true for him to, out of high school, commit to the Pirates and wear the purple and gold for 2 years. But he realized that, hey, only logging about 18 innings over 2 years wasn't going to cut it for him, and needed to make a move, and it certainly paid off for him.
Those are the stories that you really like to see as a guy who, I mean, although it's great playing at your dream school, sometimes it's better to transfer and go to another school where you can finally see yourself develop. And Merritt Beaker, such a valuable addition for Mike Roberts to have in his bullpen. And you saw him pitch well in his first outing, and looking to see him get back out onto the mound as once again grounded towards Cerny at short. He will come in, make the easy throw to nab Musakia for the third out of the inning. So back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Ian May as we head to the top of the seventh. It's all Cotuit here at White House Field. They lead 18-0 here on the Cats Radio Network.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie.
Nathan Hall digging in here in the top of the seventh. Cotuit with the 18-0 lead. Michael Benzer back out on the mound for his second inning of work. And for the first time in a long time, really silenced the Cats offense. Worked a 1-2-3 inning, only allowing the hit to Matt Klein, but he was gunned down, trying to stretch it into extra bases. But Nathan Hall tonight, he's 2 for 3 with a home run and 4 RBIs, also has drawn a walk. Pitch from Benzer runs too far in tight, evens the count at 1-1 here. And going back, just really such a powerful quote, like we were talking about during the break about transferring away from your dream school at East Carolina. That was Merritt Beaker. Now that next pitch catches the zone in against Hall, but doing what's best for your playing career sometimes overweighs playing for your dream school.
Yeah, and Beaker could have never imagined going to Muncie, Indiana, being a North Carolina native, but
Hall swings at a pitch in the dirt. Throw down to first is in time. Throw is from Winslow as the ball just booted away for a moment, but Hall is set down on strikes for the first time today, and he's out number 1.
but the way that he found his way to Ball State was kind of just through his trainer that he has back home in Lexington, North Carolina. He had played at Ball State, and that's kind of how he was even made aware of the school, and kind of just connections, and next thing you know, conference player of the year, or conference pitcher of the year rather.
Jaron Advincula due up the first pitch to him in there for strike 1. Now he grounds us right up the middle. Benzer off the mound. His throw is low and in time to nab Advincula. So Advincula set down for out number 2, and we head back to the top of the order for Max Ballou.
Yeah, looks like Max Ballou's day is done. Kian Vu will get some looks against Benzer here.
Stepping in for Cotuit.
At this point of the game, I think it makes sense to
Yeah.
empty the bench a little bit, especially for Vu. Not quite off to a hot start that we saw in college at Arizona State this year.
Vu hit leadoff in the season opener against Harwich, was 0 for 1. Did score, run, and walk. Count is even at 1-1 here. The pinch hitter from Arizona State, Benzer's 1-1. That one misses high and away. So Vu up in the count 2-1 here. Hitting just 200 so far this summer. Breaking ball catches Vu looking. The count is even at 2-2 with 2 outs in the inning. Benzer, moving with pace, deals the 2-2. That one misses high. So Vu works the count full in his first at bat here today. Benzer comes set. Out of the windup, now deals the full count pitch. Vu spoils it as he grounds it foul down the first base line.
Really good game at Orleans tonight with Chatham and the Firebirds going at it. And Chatham just recently bringing home the second run of the ball game to take a 2-1 lead in the top of the ninth.
Definitely a good one to watch over there as the next pitch to Vu misses low and away, so Kian Vu works a full count walk to extend the inning.
And Shane, you'll talk about teams that blow up for scoring like tonight, 18 runs, and then have kind of that scoring hangover, if you will, into the next game. What are some things maybe you think that need to carry over into tomorrow so they don't have one of those scoring hangovers?
Well, I think the most important thing is, honestly, teams just need to keep throwing right-handed pitching. With the surplus of left-handers, the 2 starts against lefties, they've struggled. I
Yeah.
think it's as simple as that. The talent is here. Mike Roberts does want to challenge the left-handers on this roster. As he's said to me multiple times in post-game interviews, it's kind of too early in their playing careers to be platoon players. If they want to get drafted and make it far as a professional player in affiliated ball, they're going to need a hit from both sides and both arms.
So a meeting on the mound is done as Grant Jay now steps back into the batter's box here. Jay 1 for 3. Has scored a run, also has driven in a run, walked once, and struck out twice. It comes up here with Vu leading off first. Benzer's first pitch goes all the way back to the backstop. Vu will move into scoring position here with 2 outs in the inning.
And looking at tomorrow's schedule, it is a southpaw on the mound for the currently undefeated Hyannis Harbor Hawks, but I do think they're in a tightly contested battle in Bourne, tied 5-5 in the bottom of the ninth. Bourne, the home team in that game.
It was a 3-run 8th inning for Hyannis that allowed them to tie it. So, should be an exciting finish in Bourne. Hyannis just the lone undefeated team, as 2-0 is the count to Jay. Vu leads off second. Benzer's pitch low in the dirt, but Jay expands his zone there, swings at it. The count is now 2-1.
The Kettleers are also going to have a southpaw on the mound, and Cam Hill, who's going to be looking for redemption in that start, did not pitch to the ability that Joe and I know he's capable of, especially from last summer. But I think it was more a mechanical issue. That's what Robert diagnosed it as, that he was kind of flying open a little bit on the mound, and was a lot of walks in that second inning on opening day against these Harwich Mariners that led to that 13-2 win.
And Grant Jay works a walk here, so back-to-back walks for the Kettleers offense from Michael Benzer as Jay stands on first, Kian Vu off second with 2 outs in the inning, and that brings up the powerful Brandon Compton.
Yeah, Robert's saying that Hill was pulling off towards the third base side, so not finishing straight up towards home plate, and that's what he said was the problem for him and not being able to throw too many strikes on opening day.
Yeah, also in that game, struggled really to have any feel for the slider, which definitely is his best pitch.
Gave up 6 runs in 1 2/3 innings pitched, walking 5. Definitely uncharacteristic numbers for Cam Hill as Brandon Compton takes a healthy cut at the 1-0 fastball, even the count at 1-1. But excited to see start number 2 for Hill. Hopefully, see better results and could spark a Cotuit winning streak if they get the contributions from him out on the mound as Compton waves through a breaking ball here. Count is now 1-2. Still 2 outs in the inning as Vu leads off second, Jay off first. Benzer spikes this pitch in the dirt, gets away from the catcher Winslow. Both of the runners will move up. So it's runners on second and third with 2 outs and the count even at 2-2.
Winslow's taken a beating behind the plate today, hasn't he?
Seen a lot of pitches go straight to the backstop. Breaking ball got him swinging from Benzer. Second strikeout this inning as he comes on and strands Vu and Jay in scoring position. As we head to the bottom of the 7th, Cotuit still leads 18-0.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
So is he doing like a feature or something?
Ian May's day is done. Colton Hartman, the new reliever for Mike Roberts' squad, the third pitcher used, the third straight lefty, but Ian May just masterful stuff coming out of the bullpen. 3 2/3 innings of work, allowed just 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and struck out 1. Tossing 44 pitches, 30 of which coming for strikes here. And Colton Hartman looking to close out this ball game, of course, with the new run rule put into play. 10 runs after 7. Game is called due to the mercy rule. Saw that back in the first game between these two teams where Harwich pulled off the 13-2 victory over Cotuit. That one back at Lowell Park. Now, with the Kettleers hitting the road and playing Harwich here at White House Field, the roles have been reversed. Taking in is Robbie Burnett. First pitch from Hartman in there for strike 1 against Burnett, who is 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. Hartman, the lefty, comes set, kicks and deals. Big cut there by Burnett. Comes up with nothing but air as he's quickly down on the count 0-2. Joe and Shane getting our first look at Colton Hartman this summer.
Yeah, and speaking of him, I know he's been patiently waiting to get on the mound out of Waynesville, Ohio, about halfway between Dayton and Cincinnati.
Made 12 appearances this past season at Louisville. Had a 1-2 record with a 5.9 ERA. Struck out 37 hitters in 29 innings as he goes with the breaking ball here against Burnett. Misses too far low and inside, even the count at 2-2. Just 4 hits allowed by this Cotuit pitching staff as the offense has exploded for 17 in their 18-run advantage so far as Hartman misses again. Now the count's full against Burnett. Burnett comes set, the full count offering on its way. Swing and a miss, he got him. Blew the fastball by him, and Robbie Burnett is set down once again as he's retired for the first out of the inning.
Well, Alex, I think there's pitching with the lead, and then there's pitching with an 18-run lead. Pounds the zone, gets ahead 0-2, then tries to get him to bite at something low in the zone 3 straight times, and then just lets it eat in the middle of the zone, and it's by him for the first out.
Now it's Ryan Weingartner. This Cotuit pitching staff, they've gotten the lead early and just ran with it the entire way. 6 strikeouts on the board, and you've really seen them limit this potent Harwich offense. Weingartner looks at the 1-0. That catches a strike zone, even the count at 1-1. Harwich came into this game sitting with a 3-1 record. Cotuit just 1-3. As Hartman just attacking these hitters as Weingartner now down 1-2. The 1-2 on the way from the lefty. This is low in the dirt. Looked at for ball 2.
And this at bat now to Weingartner, starting the same way as it did to Burnett. Pounds the zone and then effectively now starting to use his waste pitches, mixing locations, changing eye levels a little bit too.
Weingartner 1 for 2 on the day, singled in his last at bat, that coming back in the 4th inning, and that was the last Harwich Mariner to reach base as he's punched out for the first time today, looking at the fastball that catches all of the plate, and back-to-back Ks for Hartman leaves Harwich down to their final out here.
It's the Cotuit left-handers, strikeout artists in this game today.
7 punch-outs for the Kettleers lefty as it's Daniel Dickinson digging in here. Dickinson watches the first pitch miss outside for ball number 1. He's 1 for 3 on the ball game. Reached down an error, singled, and grounded out in his 3 plate appearances. Hartman comes set, now deals the 1-0. Spiked in the dirt for ball 2. And another thing that we've seen in this game, Harwich 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position as they've left 8 guys on base. Hartman's 2-0. Fastball there. Dickinson with a big cut. Count now moves to 2-1. Also says something about this Cotuit pitching staff to work in and out of trouble and really effectively quiet this Harwich lineup.
Yeah, Ian May came in the 3rd. 2 quick outs after the bases were loaded when Harrison Bodendorf was taken out of the game. But his changeup extremely effective. 4 strikeouts in just 2 1/3 innings pitched.
And against this Harwich team, who's at the top in the Cape Cod Baseball League in pretty much every offensive category, in the top 5 in each of them.
It's a 5-pitch walk to Daniel Dickinson as Hartman tried to locate on the outside corner, but just pushed it too far off the plate, so Dickinson keeps the game alive, and it brings up the ever-dangerous Michael Anderson.
Yeah, another walk today worked by Harwich. That's something they also do really well, 21 walks entering this game. but just 3 today, and a nice job by Cotuit pitching, who has really struggled with issuing a lot of walks to keep that number a bit more down today. I know 4 walks, maybe not ideal, but of course 18 runs on the board, and to give up just 4 hits along with those 4 walks is pretty impressive in response to a 1-3 start.
Anderson, one of those guys who has worked a walk, now finds himself up in the count 2-0 here.
And comparatively, Cotuit 6 for 17 with runners in scoring position today.
So actually, Harwich going with a pinch hitter here. It's Vince Fator. So Fator coming into that at bat, hitting .333. Fouls off the 2-0 pitch, out of play. That was an area that Cotuit had struggled coming into this game, hitting with runners in scoring position. Like you mentioned, 6 for 17. Definitely a big reason why they have the 18-run lead here. As Fator looks at the pitch from Hartman, that catches the strike zone, and Harwich now down to their final out here. Dickinson leads off first. 2-2 is the count with 2 outs in the inning. Hartman comes set, takes a look at the runner. He heads for second, pitches low in the dirt. No throw down from the catcher, Klein, as Dickinson moves into scoring position. Hartman comes set, takes a look back at Dickinson. Here's his 3-2 pitch. Once again, misses downstairs. So back-to-back walks from Dickinson and Fator. And this game still keeps going.
Yeah, more on that. Runners in scoring position, Mark. Just 2 hits in that category going into today, and 6 in this game. And of course, a lot of those coming in the first few innings of this ball game as well. So it's an offensive explosion that the Kettleers definitely needed, especially in response to having that day off and now moving into this next part of the season.
Hit into left field. That's down for a single. The throw comes in. That is cut off. It was Cam Maldonado with the 2-out single. So bases are loaded here. 2 outs in the inning, and Harwich trailing by 18, showing some life here in the bottom of the 7th.
Next to Harwich, third baseman Jake Ogden.
Jake Ogden stepping in. He's 0 for 3 today. Hartman, first pitch fastball, runs too far in tight as Ogden has to back out of the way. Hyannis in that game against Bourne did take a 6-5 lead. Scored 1 run in the top of the 10th, so Bourne a chance to tie it here. This count even at 1-1 against Ogden.
Yeah, that run coming out of Nick Grove's RBI single to score the inherited runner.
As Ogden, the 1-1 pitch, fouled it straight over our heads, and now that brings the count to 1-2 with 2 outs, and Harwich once again down to their final strike. Hartman peers in, now comes set. Kicks and deals the 1-2 pitch. Did he get him? Just missed inside. This game continues. Cotuit dugout thought it was strike 3. So a tough take from Ogden here. Now brings the count to 2-2. Hartman, this one hit in the left field. Going back on the track is Compton. He will look up, and this baseball is gone. Jake Ogden unloads the bases on one swing and cuts into this Cotuit deficit. It's 18-4 after Ogden's grand slam.
Or Tony to the Harwich 1, By local solar company, My Generation Energy, provider of solar panels powering Harwich homes and businesses.
A couple different times where they were a strike away from that first shutout of the season. But just like it happened in Orleans, a ninth inning surge from the opposing team is able to prevent that. So an 18-4 lead for the Kets now in the second grand slam of this game.
Swinging away at the first pitch is Bristol Carter, who dribbles the pitch foul down the first baseline. And it's been a great day for Cotuit, but a little demoralizing at the end. Pitched so well just to lose the shutout on what could have been the final pitch of the ball game. It's Hartman's 0-1. This one lined into center field as the Mariners' bats have come alive here in the bottom of the seventh. As 3 consecutive base hits and 5 consecutive hitters have reached here in the bottom of the seventh.
Stepping in the catcher.
Well, Harwich needed 9 to keep playing with the mercy rule. They're almost halfway there.
Well, one thing Mike Roberts doesn't want to have to do here is go to his bullpen one more time. So hopefully Hartman is able to straighten things out and get this third out of the seventh.
The first pitch, low in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Klein. It's Macon Winslow. He's 0 for 3 on the ball game. Shutout and a pair of flyouts. Now looking to continue this 7th inning rally as Carter takes off. This is hit into center field, and that'll drop. Hall plays it on a hop, relays his throw in toward the second baseman, Jaron Advincula. So Harwich has runners on the corners, still with 2 outs in the inning, and the bats just continue to come alive.
And the thing about this Klein and Hartman battery is they're both college teammates, and talking to a lot of the catchers around the league, and especially on this roster, Brooks Bryan said it himself that it's tough catching guys that you've never caught before, maybe only once in a bullpen. Here that they have familiarity with each other, and it looked good for the first 2 outs, and now Hartman's ran into a lot of trouble.
Colton Hartman came on and got the first 2 guys, Robbie Burnett and Ryan Weingartner, to strike out, and now it's just been a pair of walks, a single, the grand slam by Jake Ogden, and then back-to-back singles from Bristol Carter and Macon Winslow. That has brought Mike Roberts out of the dugout and talked things over with his reliever as Cotuit still looking for the one final out to capture their second victory of the season. And Joe, a long mound visit from Mike Roberts here.
Yeah, just trying to talk things over with the entire infield, but mainly targeting that conversation mainly towards the pitcher and the catcher, Shane, as you had mentioned. They're both from the same school, should kind of have that chemistry already developed, but it seems like these Mariners batters have just been attacking these at-bats and going after pitches. And
Carmelo Musakia, the 9th player to come to bat here in the inning. Robbie Burnett led off this inning. He stands in the on-deck circle. The 0-1 from Hartman. Foul tip straight into the glove. Winslow was taking off for second. The throw, there's no throw toward him as Winslow was confused. He was heading back to first base. Thought it was dead ball, but the ball was still alive, but he stands on second now. But Harwich, once again, down to their final strike here. The 0-2 on the way from Hartman. Misses high. And the count goes to 1-2. So Harwich has done a good job with their backs against the wall, have scored 4 here in the bottom of the 7th. Still trailed by 14 as Hartman, the next pitch, got him looking. Colton Hartman gets Carmelo Musakia looking to end the ballgame as Cotuit improves to 2-3 on the year as they capture the 18-4 victory over Harwich.
18, Harwich 4.
Yeah, it was a great game from the Kettleers offensively, especially in the top of the second, third, and fourth innings where they put up a collective 18 runs, and that was more than enough to guarantee this run rule victory. And that's exactly what this offense needed to do. Alex, we were talking about it before the game and just being able to string hits together, and Mike Roberts expressing the importance of hitting singles. Well, tonight the Kettleers had a lot of those, 17 total hits. The 3 home runs that powered over the fence here at White House Field definitely helped, but this is the exact game that this offense needed. They just need to hopefully keep it rolling into tomorrow night against Hyannis.
And like you mentioned, just the offensive explosion. This was a Cotuit offense that had really been struggling heading into this game. Their previous high of runs, 6, that was scored on Tuesday against YD, but they tripled that today with 18 runs, 17 hits, but was also led on the backs of really good pitching. Harrison Bodendorf, Ian May, and Colton Hartman really shutting the door late and not allowing Harwich to build any true momentum. Yeah, they did give up 4 runs here in the bottom of the 7th, but Ian May was dominant out of the bullpen, bridging it from Bodendorf.
Yeah, he was. And I mean, I think when you see a guy like that who ran into some issues his last time out and was kind of thrust into the fire in his first appearance at Wareham, and to really settle in nicely and to enter in a game where the Kettleers have a double-digit lead, where he's able to pitch 3 2/3 innings, give up a hit, strike out a walk. And so for Ian May, it must have just feel really good for him to be able to get back in the groove of things for him. And Shane, I mean, you talked earlier about the way his changeup was working and its effectiveness. How big of an appearance is that for May, especially taking into account what happened the last time he was out?
I mean, that's got to be huge, especially more so just for the innings that he simply ate tonight. Cotuit only used 3 pitchers. That's how you want it, how you draw it up, especially in a mercy rule win. And the best arms, I think, are going to be ready and available, especially in a rivalry game tomorrow against Harwich. I mean, against Hyannis.
Yeah, and against a really strong Hyannis team as well. And Alex, you're pulling up that final score from Bourne. Were they able to hold on?
They were not.
Wow.
It is tied 6-6 here, 2 outs in the inning. And Bourne does have a runner on first base, so it'll be interesting to see how that game finishes. Hyannis, still the lone team that is undefeated this summer, as they come to Lowell Park tomorrow to face Cotuit, who improved to 2-3. And one final question before we head out of here is, what does the Cats have to do to continue their momentum and make sure that the offense builds on this 18-run performance and not regress to what we've seen through the first 4 games?
Well, I think you don't get complacent. I think you take what you saw, what went so well for the Kettleers today, which was just getting base runners in scoring position and being able to produce when they've been there. And I mean, to go into this game at 2 for 27 with runners in scoring position is not a number you ever want to be at. But I think to have a couple of offensive explosions in these innings, big blow up innings, that really helps your offense and gives you some confidence to feel that you're not out of the game if you fall down 3-0, 5-0, 6-0 even, because you can trust the offense to really get themselves back into the game. And when you have pitching that was as solid as today, you're always going to be in baseball games. And I think that's the bottom line is, while the offense was amazing, the pitching staff really is going to be overlooked in this ball game. To keep it at 18-0 for 8 innings seemingly, or just to keep Harwich off the board for 8 innings, that was incredible.
Yeah, simply put, good things happen when you put the ball in play. And I know Coach Roberts wanted to cut down on strikeouts after the Monday night loss to Wareham, and we've seen it.
Well, that'll do it from all of our coverage from White House Field. As Cotuit, the offensive explosion, they captured the 18-4 victory over Harwich. For my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt, for our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman, for our entire intern team and our writer, Shane Patagna, I'm Alex Rocco. Thank you so much for spending part of your Thursday night with us. Cotuit victorious as they capture the 18-4 victory.